the drop, they fight you. You're a crunch junkie, so wicked plate. Let that shit like top rope. Put this bag, hundreds of demons. They're always there, above the screens. Watch the world out there in the depths of dread. And the truth to be shared.
What's happening, guys? Good morning. It's Malin in the morning. Wow. Exciting. I was going to draw, and then I was like, you know what? Kind of want to talk about my books that I bought. Kind of want to go through these things and bore you guys to death with comic book talk. Because I'm kind of excited. I showed everybody my Youngbloods that I got out there. Went to my local comic shop yesterday. I got 2, 3, and 4. I already have 1. I don't know where it's at, but it's in here somewhere. But I will say, God, I really should have pulled up issue 1. Because I did a whole review stream on it. I do believe. I think it wasn't a members only stream. There were like almost no backgrounds in Youngblood #1. I mean, the entire book. There's one good shot of a boat, and then Rob kind of shortcuts it through the whole thing. But in this one, they're like he's actually going in there and doing some more shit up. He's doing some more shit up. Like there's a lot more figures, and it's just it's ramping up. I was pretty excited to see that Rob was putting the time in. Putting some time in on that stuff. So we're probably going to flip through some of those books here. Going to probably unwrap either my Junkyard, maybe both. Junkyard Joe or Geiger. We'll look at some of these. Like I was saying over there on Shane Stream, went to the movies yesterday. I saw Scream 7. And my review sums up to, I feel like I've seen the movie already 6 other times, probably. I don't know. I think I've seen all the Scream movies. I'm not sure. I know I've seen 1 numerous times, and maybe 2 a couple of times, and any other ones I've probably seen 1 time. Why Paranoid Aunt Eric? Well, it's actually funny why. We're out at the comic shop, Faye and I, and on the way back, I had already talked to her about Scary Movie. And she took it upon herself on the way back from the comic shop to look up what was playing at a nearby theater. And she saw Scream 7 and she thought it was Scary Movie. And she likes, she's more comedy than she wants to sit through a horror movie. But she had already brought it up, and we're like, and I'm not even thinking. I'm like, oh yeah, Scary Movie. Okay, cool. But somewhere along the line, it's oh yeah, Scary Movie's not out. It's Scream 7. But because we're already in motion there, we decided to go out there and watch the movie. It was either that or Hopper, I think, the Beaver movie, the cartoon Beaver movie. So I was glad that we at least got to see Scream 7. Not that it was anything like really good. I mean, really, my recommendation is if you can, probably wait and watch it streaming. Courtney Cox. Wow. Her plastic surgery, man. Shout out. Good on you, Neve Campbell, for aging gracefully. She looks good. And I remember her back in, I was thinking about it. I remember her back in, what was it? The Craft, where she looked kind of like the fat chick. And then obviously Scream 1. And now here we are, Scream 7. And why am I not grilling? I don't have any steaks to grill right now, Syringa's Fungus. But man, when you see Neve Campbell next to Courtney Cox, like, it is night and day. It is like Neve Campbell just looks naturally beautiful, and Courtney Cox looks like stretched plastic. Oh my God. I felt bad. Felt bad for Courtney Cox because she was always a little cutie when she was younger, you know? Remember back in, what was it, Bruce Springsteen days? Yeah, comic books and cahoots. Agreed. Calling Alyssa Clips calling Shane Davis a liar over Frege handshake gate. I don't think Shane's lying about any of that stuff. Fucking Dan Frege went there, you know, looking for trouble. Yet I believe it was, I believe it to be have been Mike Miller filming. I don't know if we ever laid that down as fact, but I believe it was Mike Miller filming that. Yeah, it was a setup. Like, there's how could you blame Shane for anything when he's obviously being set up? Springsteen was 40 years ago. Oof. Yeah, that's rough. It's rough. She's probably what? I don't know, 10, 15 years older than you know, we are. I think most of us are. Michael Partika for 5. Great meeting you today on Shane's stream. I got Jawbreakers and Graveyard Shift in my stack to review someday. And ordered Godlike. All right, great. Great. I hope you enjoy the books. Anyways, what was I? Oh, yeah. So, anyways, we watched Scream. It's like everyone. I you know, and I saw that it looked like it was written and directed by, I think, the original writer. Is it like Kevin Williamson or something like that? When the credits were rolling, and I was like, oh, I think that's the original writer. I'm not. I haven't clued myself into any like Scream deep dives, you know, like I just remember when the first one came out, that guy came from somewhere. I don't remember, but anyways, Scream one really good. This one, I was just like, you know, you're trying to guess the killer the entire time. Kevin Williamson. Okay, thank you. Oh, is that Joe? My Enemy's Fall. Yeah, Kevin Williamson. So, anyways, it was good, you know, but it wasn't great. It was. I predicted. I can't go into spoiling it, but when I saw one guy, I said that guy's going to be one of the killers. Because I'm like, they introduce him. He puts up some, let me just say, he puts up some information that is only going two ways. It is going to be true. And if it is true, it is the wackiest story. If what he is saying is not true, which it's likely not true, then he is one of the killers trying to mislead. And that's how I figured out he was going to be him. Odds are you're it. And he was. Anyways, I don't want to say too much about it. I'll end up spoiling it or something like that. Wait for television, wait for streaming. Unless you're just like a really big Scream fan and you can't miss them, then do what you want. Who the fuck am I? But yeah, the theater experience was not great. I don't know if Faye sent me that picture. My phone was almost dead, so I powered it down. But I asked her to take a picture for me while we were there. Let me see if she sent that. No, she did not. All right. Anyways, yeah, the waiter was a nightmare. Passing food in my head, standing behind us when he greeted us. Oh, and when he pops around, you know, you're like, he's popping around because, again, I got one little step right by me. And if you guys were listening to me before, I had one step. So he's taking 1 foot on that step and like, everything okay? You know, so we're like, we're watching a scary movie. And he's like, everything okay? I'm looking over. I'm like, holy shit. And I see this. Everything okay? Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Walk down the fucking row and we will see you ahead of time coming around the row and then addressing us directly. The motherfuckers did not want to stand in front of us at all. And I'm not saying directly in front of us, but off to the side in front of us. Just stand right front left of me and, you know, talk to us directly. It was fucking oddball shit. Oddball shit. The killer reveals have been the worst part of the last 4 movies, yeah. Yeah, this one was not great. And that's what I was thinking. I'm like, dude, if I'm the guy that created Scream and now I'm directing, I don't know if he's directed any of these beforehand. And also some of the cuts, you know, maybe it's editorial, maybe it's a little bit him, but I'm just like, there were a couple spots, it was a little uneasy. I was just like, is that timed right? But if you're gonna do this, if this is gonna be your big, like, hey, remember how good this movie was when I wrote it the first time? Yeah, I remember. I'm gonna, like, I didn't feel anything for any of the characters. I'm just like, kill that one, kill that one, kill that one. You know, you remember like the Drew Barrymore scene in Scream 1? Like, that was crazy because it was emotional. Like, you didn't know this character. You didn't know this character for anything more than a few minutes. But her fucking death, with her parents walking up the steps, and she's like, Mom, Dad, fucking then getting dragged off on the cell phone. You know what I mean? Like, that was fucking like, holy fuck. That's how I felt. I think that's how most people felt when they saw that very first intro with Drew Barrymore, her just getting wrecked, dude. And her parents right there. And you're just like, holy shit. They have not been able to duplicate that. Not at all. There's a whole intro scene here, you know, as I think they all do, you know. But it was not, I didn't care. I didn't care about that. I didn't care about any of the cast. And it's still, you know, I know it's a movie about cliches, but it's cliched itself. And, you know, it's got, is it Randy's niece and nephew show up? And, you know, like, oh man, this, they do an early kind of killer review. And I'm like, why, or reveal? I'm like, why that person? Why that? Nobody, you're like, huh? You're like, why not make it someone else, anyone else, but this character? It was like anticlimactic. You're like, what? I guess it's a deeper mystery to be dug into, and it wasn't that fucking deep. It was, I don't know, man. This thing it just seemed like a story that was kind of thrown together, relying on nostalgia. And like almost everybody's in this movie because they're using like, this is small. Wait, no, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it because I think that might be a little bit of a reveal. I'm not gonna say it. But yeah, there's a lot of cameos in this movie from previous movies. And I was just like, good morning, DJ. Mike McMahon, nice new room. Old room. Same room I've had before. Just my desk used to be on that wall. Now it's on this wall. So I resituated everything in here. My couch is back there that I work on. Look, I got a stack of books over there. I got you know, all my good posters hanging up here. I got a gap here. One day I will find a poster, or maybe I'll go to Hobby Lobby and I'll get more of these little kind of monster board things. Pop, 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 pop. You know, Dracula or something like that. You know, Gilman, Black Lagoon guy, you know. Nostalgia is a hell of a drug. Yeah. I just wish they would do this. You know, like I was almost hoping for like, because I didn't even like really kind of warm up to this. I mean, we really just went, you know. So I almost would have liked to have seen like a little bit different of an angle, almost not Rob Zombie Ghostface, but you know, beat up mask, or you know, a little bit more worn and torn, you know, old man Ghostface, you know, like that would have been kind of cool. Something a little different. But then I'm just like, well, whatever. I don't know. If you're a kid, I guess. You know, if you're 15, 16 on a date movie, you know, go ahead, you know, that's, I drag that lamp over every time I draw. And I try to get it back out of camera when I'm not drawing because it is a granny lamp. But it's perfect. It's the perfect amount of light that casts down on me as I draw right in this end of the chair, which is also not my norm. I used to draw in this end of the chair, but when I moved it, I felt like I was just kind of like into the wall too much, so I had to be set free and come over to this side. So everything's different. Yeah, I don't want to talk about Darth, any of that stuff, But yeah, maybe I should just do a full spoiler review. Not now, but I think I might. I'll give people like a week or so to watch it, and then I'll forget half the shit, but I'll give people a week or so to go watch it if you're going to watch it. Then we'll do a full spoiler review. Did Shane do the Fago poll today? What was the Fago poll? I don't know. Fago's supposed to be bringing Shane down with evidence of writing jokes. I don't know. Parvat was better or worse than part 6. Now I watched, was it 1 or 2 movies with the Jenna Ortega? I think there were 2 movies with Jenna Ortega as like the little sister of this other girl who was like the new kind of Sydney character. And then that girl, that actress, turned out she's like Mexican, like from Mexico. She's from Mexico, came to the United States. We gifted her with a film career, and then she couldn't stop getting into criticizing American politics. Can you imagine me going to Mexico and getting a huge film career? And I don't know, there's soaps, and all I do is I say, you know what? I don't like what's going on here, Mexico. I don't like how you guys are supporting people. I don't like Mexico. And then Mexico would probably be like, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of here. And I kind of wish, I think this happened during Biden administration, but I kind of wish it would have happened during Trump, and then she could have been booted. But it's a shame because I was like, what I do remember is just my overall kind of impression of that girl and the Jenna Ortega character, whatever. I was just like, I think they're doing okay. And they could have probably carried that movie on with her and Jenna Ortega for, I don't know, a couple more, maybe. I don't know. But they fired her, and because she was talking about the Jews, smart move. Smart move. Talking about the Jews in Gaza, I think is what it was, right? She was like, free Palestine. So her work dried up, more or less. But anyways, I was okay with them. Part 6 and 6 sucked. DEI woke race swap characters. Yeah, I thought they were okay. I like that Jenna Ortega girl. She was a little cutie for Wednesday, right? Little cutie. Yeah, she thought they were fair game now. Yeah, look, man, once you're coming up, you know what I mean? And you made your first, I don't know, $1 million, and you're just like, now's my time. And she's credited, I don't know where I saw it at, but it said actress activist. You don't want that in your credits when you have to work for other people, that you're an activist, because it just means you're a troublemaker. You're going to be problematic because a lot of things are going to offend you, and then you are going to have to be outspoken about how much offended you are by X, Y, or Z. Never ever hire. Yeah, look, I think all employers are doing this now. Look at people's social media and just see if they're an activist before you bring them on to work at I don't know, McDonald's. Shit. Oh, I had the big arch today. Not that great. Not as good as the Arch Deluxe, which was my favorite burger at McDonald's back in around 1996, 97. Incredible burger. Arch Deluxe. Apparently too expensive for them to make, but this new one's not, I guess. I don't know, man. It's not that good. It's not that good. It's got its own sauce. I think its own bun. Did they have, I think it had 2 patties. It was like a double quarter pounder, I think. This has got like these what are those onion things? What are they, like fried onion? John, what's your IQ? Low, man. Probably fucking retarded. Look at me. Fucking comic book artist, you know what I mean? Tom Tuttle, member for 21 months without spoiling anything. Worst movie for a scream killer ever. And that's a low yardstick anyways. Wow, Tom Tuttle. Yeah, I'm just saying, go, if you're going to watch it, wait for streaming. It just felt like every other one, you know. And then the ending, the reveal, killer reveals, you're just like, don't care. Cameos, nostalgia, all this stuff. You know, movie rules. It's just like, yeah, okay. All right. Elon Musk level genius. I'm building rockets in my own backyard in my spare time. No, I'm trying. Look, man, you know what I mean? I'm meat and potatoes. That's what I fucking am. IQ. I'm trying to figure out how to fucking reroute water in my lawn. Because I got my new driveway and I'm getting pooling water, and I'm just how do I get all this water out of here? And then I came up with a really good plan with my low IQ. And I said, you know what? If I put like it was like a French drain out there. Oh my God, it's a stink bug. It's Bill. Fucking Bill. Be free. Be free. He came back. Fucker. Shit. I gotta get these fuckers out of here, man. It's warm now. They'll find some place to live. What the fuck was I talking about? Oh, the French drain. Thank you for that. Yeah, you know, this little drain, and then you put some drain tile. And I was like, hey, if I go take that out to my clean out, you know, I could dig around my clean out. I could take out the top of my clean out, put one of those Y fixtures on there, and I can reroute the drain tile into my clean out. And then it goes into my sewer, you know, because I had my whole sewer redone. And I'm just like, I looked in it and it's illegal. So I'm just smart enough to come up with an idea that's fucking illegal to do. So anyways, does Faye know about Bill? Yeah. Well, it's the end of winter, guys. There's stink bugs. This is Michigan. We're in northern climate, so people get stink bugs in their homes. They're all right. I don't even know what a stink bug smells like. Faye's like, oh, they smell bad. I'm like, I've never even noticed a stink bug. You know, I guess they stink. I've never smelled one. They've never been afraid of me. You know. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I've been feeding. I've been feeding these fuckers banana. You guys are on my Twitter. You see me just dropping down banana for these guys. Feel bad for them. But they trust me. You can tell. You can tell they trust me. They're feel like they want to thank me by landing on me now. Crush it to get the smell. Nah, yeah, I'm not going to crush it. I'm not even going to kill it. I would walk it outside and throw it out the front door. 200 watt studio for 2. Nice morning. Nice and crisp outside. Yeah, I did walk outside. Yeah, 200 watt studio is semi-local to where I'm at. I did walk outside this morning. Yeah, nice chill. I was taking out some trash. Nice and cool, a little breezy, you know. So don't want to be chilling out there too long, but yeah, we got some decent weather right now. That rain was a lot. And that's why I was like, fuck, what am I gonna do to get rid of all this water? And I think I got it figured out. But first, we're going to talk to gutter people. We're going to see about getting new gutters done and see what we can do about routing, because a lot of the water is coming from the roofs, and then the gutters are pushing it right out into the front, almost a flood. So anyways, we'll figure it out. But I'm probably going to end up doing some digging. I don't want to dig anymore, but I'll probably end up doing some digging and working out like a little pop-up French drain, something I don't fucking know, out there in my lawn with some drain tile. I think you gotta go like 2 feet deep, and I don't like the idea of me renting that fucking trencher again. That thing was like a fucking tank, man. It was like a fucking tank, and it fucking ripped up my yard like no problem. But it'd get the job done in, probably 15 minutes. I'd probably I could run that fucker out, but I also got gas lines I got to worry about. But I could run that fucker right through my yard. But I don't know if I can. I don't want to blow myself up. Like I said, low IQ, smart enough to get the job done. That's about it. I'm a good grunt. That's what I tell people. I got a YouTube just about everything, but I can get it done without losing my cool for the most part. But then it just fades away. I forget how to do everything. Forget it. You could have took it to the city on a rampage. What? I got a long memory while blasted. Yeah, I don't remember shit. But anyways, good time out with Faye yesterday. Comic shops, antique stores, movies. What else did we do? I think that was about it. Oh yeah, and I'm also, I think, getting sick. I'm getting a little more congested. Keep blowing my nose now. Probably from the casino. It's the only real outing I'm doing. It's not 100%, but it's possible. Most likely from the casino. All those people around. And that was Saturday out of the casino. Went in with 300, came out with 0. So I was like, yeah, it's okay. But I haven't been to the casino in 2 months. So I might pop out there again. I don't know, in a month or two. Oh, actually, end of this month. Forgot. We got a concert we're going to. So we will be at the casino at the end of the month. Faye went to Boy George. She said he was really good. She went with one of her gal pals. And the concert sounded good. He did a lot of cover songs. And was, I don't know, talking about old days, I guess, a lot. But she said he was looking good, I guess, for what he is, whatever he's doing, cross-dressing. I think he's more masculine, just flamboyant now, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, Faye and Kay went out. But anyway, she had a great time. And then Saturday, I went to the casino with Joe and Sean, and there was no seating. And we had to keep walking around for, 20 minutes before some seats opened up. And then it was only 2, and we were 3. So Sean stood, me and Joe sat, played for a while, and it sucks because no seats are opening up. So Joe offers to switch with Sean. And when Sean's, and this is like delay of game. So Sean puts up a card, but it's from the other casino I took him to. And then I'm like, well, give me your license. Cause the guy's like, whatever. And I'm like, just give me your license. Oh, okay. And gives him the license. And the guy's like, I don't think you're a member here. And I'm like, yeah, he is. I'm like, I know. Cause I brought these guys in, got them all hooked up on day 1, so I'm just like, yeah, he is. Speaking for him, speaking for him. And so everyone's just waiting to play, waiting for Sean to get settled in. And well, Joe had to get out, then Sean had to get settled in, get the card things sorted. So, we're, I don't know, 2-3 minutes delay. But when you're playing cards, you want to get in and out on these hands. So anyways, everyone's like, okay. And then when Sean hands the money up, it's $20. It's $20. Sean keeps bringing $20 to a casino. And so when he played, and I was about to tell her, because everybody was like, because everyone knows if you get $20, when people come up and it's, $20-$40, they're going to be in and out fairly quickly, generally. So what it is thankfully they're actually doing a swap. So Joe's coming out, Sean's coming in. So, everything's the same, basically. The play will be the same. But it's just like, it stops the momentum. You want to be on it. And then I was about to say, to kind of relieve tension, but I just didn't. I was like, don't worry, guys. He's gone pretty far on $20, the last 2 times. And he did. He has done fairly well on $20. He's hit. This is our 3rd time playing, I believe. First 2 times, he was hitting. Everybody's hitting a lick on the beginning, but this time he did not hit a lick, and he was out in 2 hands. And then we had to get Sean out of there and Joe back in there, and the lay of game again. So it's just like, yeah. But also it's like when you got somebody just standing there, you're like, like, I'm having fun, Joe's having fun, Sean's probably not having fun. It's on your mind. And then Joe's out, and then I'm like, I just took whatever I had left. I put it all in, maybe $100 or something like that out of 3. I could have stayed down and just played, but I'm like, I got 2 guys, just sitting here, and like, I will be having fun. They will not be having fun. And, so I'm just like, I just threw it all in. I'm just like, let's go, and did that. So anywho, we had a good time though. We had a good time playing, and, me and Joe did, I guess, but I think we were all having a good time ultimately. Then we ate, then we hung out for a bit. And I let everybody know how art-wise I want to take everyone's soul from their bodies. I want them to fall into a deep despair whenever I'm drawing and up against other people. Like I'm doing covers. I did a cover for Joe, and Joe's got all these other cover artists. I'm like, I want them all to be depressed at what they handed him, and think about Minecraft. That's how bad I want to be better than everybody else. Just want their souls, guys. It's not that much. But anyways, good time. Like, this is the number 7 casino. I think it is number 7 casino outside of Las Vegas that we went to in the US. We're spoiled. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, that traffic was bad. It was fucking bad. They're doing all kind of construction. Ramping up, guys. All right, let's see. Let me try to see if I got a little something. I don't know where Bill went, so maybe we get a little visitor here. Dun, 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 dun. Do. Clean this off a bit. I don't know. What do we want to check out? We got Geiger. Hold on. Do. What is that? The Man Who Had Two Brains. Is that what I'm? Geiger, Junkyard Joe. And Junkyard Joe is exactly like that GI robot thing. I think Shane said he had something to contribute on that. From Creature Commandos, which was actually done pretty well. And then Geiger. These are both art by Gary Frank. But again, the story was I went to the comic shop today. I grabbed a single issue of Geiger and a single issue of Junkyard Joe. And as I was walking to checkout, I saw that in the the trade collected areas that they had these full versions here. So I'm just like, well, I was buying it for the art anyways. So I'm like, well, I might as well just get a full-on dose of what are Gary Frank art. Look at all that stuff. So read both of them. Good books. Oh, Fart Vag. That's what it is. What did I keep them? Fart Vag. Do better, America. What did we do? How are we doing in the wars? This is Joe. He says, one of these times I'm winning some money at the casino. Yeah, I tell you, man, Joe, it's all about pullout game. That's what it is. It's all the pullout game. Because every time I think that we've gone, except this time, we've always caught a pretty good upswing right in the beginning. And again, that's why you got to set goals in blackjack. If I went in with 300. So if I had a $100 gain, kind of goal, so leave with 400, I probably hit that. I probably hit it. But ultimately you're like, I want more. And then you stay in too long and you go on the decline. And I could have possibly, because like I said, I had about $100 left. I could probably stuck it out and maybe caught another upswing. But anyways, we just stay in too long because we're having a good old time and we're drinking beer, having a good time. But this time, Sean he didn't have enough to get into the upswing. And that's why you need to have enough for about 20 hands. Because if things go bad for you in blackjack and you hit and the dealer's just winning, you have to outlast that until the upswing, until it swings back your way, and then you can recover. Anyways, I'm going to open up this Geiger right here, guys. We'll check this out. Oh, and then, maybe we'll check out, I don't know, maybe we'll take a look at, it's not like we're going through the whole damn thing. This is Jeff Johns, by the way. This is, remember, whenever Ethan's talking about how Jeff Johns went out and made his own imprint, I guess, because it's Image, so they're not publishing. This is one of the books that Jeff Johns is currently doing. Probably to sell to Hollywood. Probably all these guys are in on some sweet deal, back end deal. Maybe they're doing like Tool, the band. They all split the profits, whatever, 4 ways. Is it 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 ways. Instead of like the songwriting stuff, like everything comes out 4 ways. Which just. Not one person gets the bulk of the earnings. So I wonder if that's what this company has done. Oh my God. It looks like I dropped it in the fucking, I don't know, fucking soot. What is this? What is this trying to make me feel? I guess radioactive. Am I radioactive? Oh, that's cool. 2 pages of this stuff. What is this? Godlike? All right, here we go. 3. Wait, what is this? Oh, that's one of the covers, I believe. I don't know. Do I like this or not? Oh, you know what it could have been too? It could have been something with page count. They're like, we need to get some kind of filler thing going in. It's possible. Jeff Johns and Gary Frank. Storytellers. Oh, they just call them storytellers. Okay. Brad Anderson is a colorist. Rob Lee. I'm going to be watching you, Rob Lee. Rob Lee. Oh, additional content. Jay Faber. His he had a book. What was that called? Noble Causes. Noble Causes and Venture. Venture was a book he did, and I got a pinup in there. It was one of my first pinups. It was full color. I colored it myself. Kind of printed dark, though. That Peter J. Tomasi. I believe that was a DC editor that became a writer. Kelly Jones. That's a lot of different artists. What are all these artist credits? What are there backup stories or something in here? Other colorists. And that's kind of, I don't know. I hope that they leave like credits pages in the thing so that you know per story. Geiger #1 cover. Gary Frank, Brad Anderson. Now, are they doing all this wear and tear for the trade, or is that an effect that they put on the actual cover? That's cool. There's a subtle skull there. Sorry about that, guys. And what was Shane saying? Shane didn't like the guy's layouts. I think that's what he was saying. He didn't like his layouts. Wow, look at all these word balloons. Do I like that? Do I like all these word balloons? I don't know. At least they're top lining here. You know, we got detach, top line. So the letters at least kind of bouncing it back and forth. That's good. This one he could have just bottom lined right down. I do like when they kind of knock the line out. Some people do it consistently. Some letterers do that consistently where it's all white back there and the words are just floating, which looks cool. Like Thor with Simonson, John Workman Jr. would knock those lines out a lot. It had very nice graphic quality to it. That's why I almost wish that this last one was just pulled down and, kind of, I don't know, almost like not a bookend, but I guess for the panel, you start open and then you can close open. It's not the worst. A lot of text in there. Probably a good job. Good job, letterer. Whoa, look at that. Whoa, look at that fucking tail. Holy shit. Boy. What a great double page spread, though. I love this. This makes me think of like Brian Hitch for some reason. Almost like it's like a photo. I think in Ultimates they had this double page spread of like the mountains. And this is just kind of similar. It's just an rocky environment shot. And then we get a little Jeep here. It looks like it's got some kind of trailer on the back. We get these guys camping. Is that this is on a ridge or something here. And then the people even down lower, but it looks like they could also just stroll right to the vehicle. So, not sure if I like that. How high is that ridge? How high is that ridge? I don't know. The moon, I wish was kind of in the panel. It's just weird to crop it off. Just bring it down just a little bit right here. We'd see the whole thing. That'd look nice. Whatever. Minor, trivial. Whoa. This is a lot. See, if I saw this, if I'm Jeff Johns and I'm like, oh, I wrote too much, this isn't working, I would try to scatter this stuff a little bit more. So we got 6 balloons here, only 1 here, and they're all whatever radio or audio from the TV. Like, couldn't we have gotten this one down to here, move this one? I don't know if anything on that calendar is important, but maybe over the calendar more, and then a third one down so that we get maybe 3 or 4 of these in here. And then we get, another 3 or whatever here. Or maybe we even have enough room to drop one down into here. Maybe move this E sound a little bit. Then we get into there. It's just everything's crowded up here in this one panel. You got all this nice drawing that was done. We're not seeing it. These little radio balloons, I don't know if you would normally top line these because of the little jagged stuff. I don't know how that would read, but if you could, I would. I'd top line it right there. Then we would detach from the top for the second balloon, and maybe the third one would be top lined as well. And you keep everything up and out of the way and try to get them down. That's the point of top lining, almost like you're framing it instead of just putting balloons straight over all that art. Yeah, but maybe this is what Shane is talking about. The drawings look very nice, but yeah, it's just very static, I guess, at this point. And also you always question if these guys are just really kind of doing it for the Hollywood pitch. Like, look here, this is your opening shot, guys, and then look, there's a room. It's like a very clear storyboard. We're going to do an establishing shot right here. This is scene 1 or scene 2, establishing shot. What is that? Is this a bunker? What is this thing? What are they in? Oh, I guess that makes sense if they're in an underground bunker. Where's the entrance at? Because that looks like a house. And then I see, okay, they're running. Oh, okay, they're running off to this hill. That's very, did not catch that. They're running off from their house to this hill into this bunker. And then it kind of, again, like we get like a wall of text, and sometimes it can't be avoided. But I really like it when you can get a clean line from eye to eye without this stuff. And again, sometimes it can't be avoided. Again, is it possible that we move some of this text up here? This first word balloon probably would have fit right up here. Give a little tail, and then we get this one out of the way. And then we start with a smaller one, and we're going to top line that, or we drag that over there. And then we start, as we should, with the figure on the left to speak first. So these first two things could both be right here, and he could be yelling it while they're going around. What's he saying? Air filters, hydroponics. We can live down there for as long as we need to. Okay, we're prepared. Yeah, that text could have went right there. No reason to keep it here, especially when we're building a wall of text between these guys. You got plenty of room in that nice blue sky to drop that in there. 2 balloons will fit in there. Top line, smaller one, going right to that guy. Then we could have started with her. But your medicine, Tariq. That's his name, Tariq. It's a weird name. Then he can reply, I got plenty. For now you do, but not forever. We can't stay down there. We've got no choice. Yeah, that stuff would have read a lot better. It would have been out of the way. We could have got a clear line of sight here. Whoop. People don't think about lettering. I want you guys to know that. Even though the guy top line, kudos for that. No bottom line though, but he top lined, I guess. I'm scared, Daddy. Tariq. The hell is Tariq? Is he white guy? What is he? Is he an Indian? What is he? He's dark. This kid's dark. I guess his wife is white, and then he's got another dark kid there. Arkfa. Is that what you do for a bark? Wouldn't a ARKF? I guess. Here's one here too. I don't know if I like that lettering. Guys, I was thinking at the comic shop today, I tried to express it in a quick Twitter tweet. They're Muslims? Is that you're saying comic books in cahoots? They're Muslims? God damn it. I was thinking, when I was flipping through like these floppies, actually it was I think it might have been Geiger, and I took the picture of Geiger, the floppy that I was going to get. All these gloss pages, it's all glare. Like, you see a little glare coming up on there? It's because they're gloss pages. And I was like, when I'm flipping through the books, I'm just like, everything looks kind of fucking cheap with the gloss. I don't know why. I picked up like random Batman, just random books off the shelf, and I'm looking at them all, and like the overhead lighting is glaring every one of these pages, and it just felt cheap. And I was like, again, when we had old school, it was all newsprint, so there wasn't any fucking glare coming off the newsprint when we're looking at it in a gas station or a pharmacy where we were getting comic books, before we were all migrating to the comic shops, but even comic shops included, right? So you're looking at newsprint for a while at the comic shops, and then everybody starts going on to gloss paper. And I'm like, is it possible? And I don't know if it's going to make a huge difference in sales, but is it possible that people get the impression when they're flipping through a book that it's just shit? Like, it can be really good art, but man, all that glare that comes on there, something about it feels cheap. And so Graveyard Shift uses gloss paper. Godlike for interior, and Godlike for interior uses satin paper. So it's somewhere in between matte and gloss. Is my understanding of it. But if everybody switched to like a satin, I wonder if that would make the books feel a little bit more, I don't know, rich by not having all that, just like almost like a lens flare. It's like the lens flare. Look, it's like the lens flare on these fucking pages. Look at that. You can't see. See what I'm saying? Yeah. You're like, I don't know. It felt cheap. And I'm like, is that what's going on? Maybe I'm just too old. And maybe I'm getting crazy, but I'm like, what if all these had like satin interiors? It's not exactly gloss. It's not exactly matte, or definitely not newsprint. I think it looked good. And especially a lot of these colors are, kind of dull. So, it would read really well. Dull, dark, I don't know if I like this arc. These little black outlines, the saturation of that, it's too much. I feel like maybe dull that out. Let it become more of the artwork. Take the black stroke and, make it like 50% opacity, I guess. More barking. What is that? Is that a cat? Is that a tiger? What is that thing? Is that the dog? I guess. Yeah, let me see if I turn this lamp on here. Ooh, there we go. It's a little better, but ooh, look at that glare. Look at that glare, boys. Changes everything, doesn't it? All right, there. We can see everything a little bit better now. I'm not overly familiar with Gary Frank's work, but when I was looking at it, I was seeing like it was almost reminding me of like Lionel Yu a little bit in these faces. I don't know who's the influence. I feel like that Gary Frank guy has probably been around. I don't know. But it's good work. I like all the faces, and I was looking at the rendering on these faces too, and all these lines got good even spacing, But yeah, dude, like, I don't know, we're already 5 pages in. I just don't care about this book. Oh, there we go. Thank God. Oh, he's just seeing an explosion. I thought his eyes were like causing like damn, did that dude just nuke something with his eyeballs? That would have been cool. Everyone's getting shot. Where's that dog? Where's that dog? Is that dog okay? And this looks like a Watchmen movie, right? When the dude's like getting incinerated. 20 years later. That's very Watchmen. If this guy comes back, if that's the guy, all right, 20 years later, what, he reassembles himself? Is it the same place that we're at now? Wasn't that different? I don't know. What is this stuff? They got explosives in a little kid's wagon. I wonder if this is like everything's been nuked or was it just that one spot? That looks kind of cool. That guy there. At least he's got like a cape, a hood. Is that Geiger? Geiger? And, take on me. You guys got the crowbar. I guess that's just like burned in your head. That Aha video. Wasn't that Aha? Take on me. Take me on, take on me. Guess if you grew up in the 80s, hard to shake it. Schlitz. Woof. What's the woof for? Is that the sound of his hand touching the handle? Is that necessary? Just get rid of that one. Keep that one. What's he saying? This is some tough line here. Keep out or you lose your teeth. Check. Check. Yeah, sure. I'll put up a sign. Eyeballs in neon. Oh, it's kind of okay. No trespassing. All right, that looks cool. In neon. It's kind of, I don't know if I like that line. I'll put up a sign in neon. Okay. All right. Boo. Okay, so he's like a radioactive ghost. Can he fly? Can he make copies of himself? Banging his, is it his girlfriend or his wife? Two-headed dog. That's kind of cool. Yeah. I mean, this is just like, really good shots, but it's just, I don't know, man. Like everyone is very well on a background. And I know it sounds like something bad to like, what's he doing complaining? What, too much background? It's just like every scene is very kind of real, I guess. I don't know. It reads very kind of quiet. There's no real anchor panel to any of these things. Maybe that, but even that, it's just very, whatever. It's very clean. Here he used a more desaturated sound effect. Yeah, I think I like that better. I'd probably take these black strokes off and just see how these would sit without the black stroke. Because the thing with like computer lettering is, like you see this R here. Oh, let me see if I can get that closer. Like it's a subtle thing, but this R here, like look on this little swoop here. There's like three little, almost like fingers coming off that. Can I get closer? Yeah, three little fingers, and then like a little. This line here cuts across almost like a thumb. And then you see right here, it's the exact same R. There's no hand-drawn imperfection. And you almost wish that a letter, like, okay, let's say you have that R. And Illustrator's a bitch, I'll say that. But maybe you could do it in Photoshop or something like that. But like if you pasted that R, and if you had, the easiest thing to do, get this R away from that R. However many R options there are, don't make it easy to kind of connect it. Be like, oh, those are the same R's, So this one's different. But it also looks like it's the second R right here. No, it does. There is a little change up there. This R looks like that R. So we have 3 different types of R's. Anyways, if you could do it, if you could lay these out and then you just go over there and do it by hand, go over that on its own layer in like Photoshop or Clip Studio, then you would be adding your own smaller imperfections, you know, which would make it feel more organic. But a letterer today would say, well, that's more work. There's that Schlitz again. Oh, what are, it's not even a sword. What are these things? Oh, they're just like nightsticks. Or batons. Is that the word? Baton? Same diff? Is it the same diff? I don't know. Anyways, yeah. It's really well done. But damn, there's not a lot of actual pizzazz for me, guys. Other people are going to look at it and say, what the fuck are you talking about, man? This is fucking great. Yeah, just, you know, it's not exciting to me. It's like Watchmen. That's what it feels like. It feels like Watchmen. If you look at that artwork, it's really well done. It's really well done. But all it does is it along with the story, it puts me to sleep every time. I cannot get through, like, I think like the first issue of Watchmen. I started watching that animation or whatever on, I think it was HBO. I think they have part 2 out now. I need to go back and watch that. I might just start right from the beginning. I don't know. And go through the whole thing. There we go. Look at that. That's nice. That's nice. Full moon. Got our guy in here. Really nice. That's Gary Frank does these very nice kind of environmental shots. Even the silhouette here looks really nice. This is, you know, this might be a bit of the McFarlane thing, which is like, you know, change up the size of things. So like we get the head, you know, with the helmet, that big, almost exactly the same size, So like you could do this, and then on this one, you could zoom, you know, like this is like the stretch for tablets, but you could zoom in. You could pinch in on this thing. So we'll go here, and then we get a little bit closer. So now we're more intense on whatever's happening instead of the same amount of intensity. Now we zoom in, and that, you know, that close up, everyone's like, ooh, this is getting more intense. And then we can pull back to here, and then you go back down a notch. But you would at least be going up a notch and then back down a notch. So you'd have this, then you would have this, and then you would shrink back to that. Boop, boop. That's how I would recommend it. Even this stuff right here, you know, well, whatever. What is that? A headlight and then no headlight? What do? Turn the lights off? Oh, no. I think that's our guy walking, and he's glowing. But look at the, you know, the face looks pretty good. Puts those little nose lines in there too. I like to stay away from that shit. Oh, come on, focus up, yo. Don't do me like that. Follow my hand. There we go. All right. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that's kind of my impression, is like everything is really well done, but it's kind of like I'm just kind of tired already. This will probably just be a book that I end up. You see, usually I will see something and I will get engaged visually in a book, and then I will say, "Oh, well, now I want to read it." Because as I'm going through it, I'm starting to read things because it's becoming more interesting to me. And then I say, let's go back. Let's start. We got something here. And again, everything's perfectly adequate, but just design wise, there's not much to it. Black family, what's going on, y'all? Do we need all this? Ooh, look at that leg. Ugh, look at that face. Look at that leg. Oh, the white man's coming to rock their world and stab them. Gonna stab you. Oh, kids hiding. Oh, the mom is getting the kids to hide under here. They stab the mom. Just again, like, even look at this. It's well drawn, but like the shot is just like there's nothing else. Nothing else like this. These kind of boring legs, and this is okay. The theme in there is okay. Better angle. I don't know. Up, going down to where we can still see the kid back in there, giving away their position. Oh, you guys are like Vikings or something. She's like, shut up, N-word. You little N-word. That's what she said to him. And they're, wait, why are they so far away now? Because they're right here doing the stab where the kid's like, Mom. And they're like, huh? Shut up. Now look how far away they are. Yeah? Should have just got rid of this. And we could have got rid of this. Could have got rid of both of these, I think. Yeah, because it would have read just fine. We see the stab. We already know they're in here and standing right next to the curtain. They say, huh? And then, huh? And then peek. And then, ah! Like, yeah, these two panels slow it down too much. Get rid of them. That's what an editor would say in the layout phase. Say, just get rid of these two. You've already established they're by the right here. They didn't have to reestablish the room and then put them at a distance just for there's no text here. So it's not necessary, just whoop, whoop. Like, that's kind of creepy. Just going from there. That's creepy. And then fast action. These two, again, it slows it down too much. Ethan says it's beautiful. Yeah, it's a beautiful boar. It's a beautiful boar. I agree. Let's see. Every panel, everything, mine is here. Whenever it's all nice background, everything nicely framed. Put you to sleep. Everything in panel. So what is the story? Is the story about the black kids getting away from the white man? Is that what it's about? Sure, audiences are going to run to that. And they're going to run to that movie. All those white people and their white money and their white guilt. They're going to run out there. They're going to want to see these black kids survive. Dun, 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 dun. That's nice, but God, that's the second kind of spread or full pager we had, right? With Geiger and I don't know, man. They're always like these straight on, like, okay. All right, don't change it up. Gary. Look, we got a big juicy spread of this guy that nobody knows anything about. Are you glad? I don't like this red lettering here. I think it goes with it. Again, beautiful drawings. Look, I mean, you want an establishing shot of, I don't know, what is it? An escort me to Manhattan, I guess. Is that Manhattan? What is this? Oh, this is, what is it? It's like a fake city. Yeah, I don't. Oh, it's some kind of Vegas thing. Okay, all right, because like that's not that statue is not even to scale, right? I mean, you couldn't actually have these figures walk in that head. So I'm guessing this is post-apocalyptic. Oh, okay, he wears a mask because his face is all radioactive, jacked up. Where are we at in the story? Because what's our closer for the issue? I don't like the. Ooh, I like her tits. I don't like the where they collect. Okay, there we go. Geiger. All right. Dang, that's a lot of pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, that would have been a good stop right there. 1, 20. Is this 22? Oh, I guess that's our 22. Look at this. Was there text that went below here? Look at all this empty space down here. It's like a third. Like she couldn't be further down the steps a little bit. She could have stood on this one. Just looks like a lot of wasted room there. Like you would put a panel here, small little inset panel, or text that says next issue, whatever the next issue is. Maybe they did that and they took it out for the trade, but it looks weird here. Like he cut that guy's, look, his head's cut off. He cut his forehead off. This thing couldn't have been laid out in a way to center all these people in here. At least don't cut off his head. Gary Frank seems to be very, I guess, in control of the work. It doesn't seem to ever break a panel. So the design is always made to fit everything. I mean, and that's good. That's good planning, but yeah, it's really nice bore. But he can draw the shit out of whatever you want him to draw the shit out of. And again, if you're dealing with like Hollywood and you're kind of thinking about trying to get it turned into a movie than being a really great comic book, this is probably how you do it. Clean storytelling. Look, another straight on shot of the hero, full page, just like we had, 3 other times before. I guess he's cool. He's still standing in the desert. Oy. He's not, you couldn't put him on in that, get him into that fucking Vegas. Like, why is he in the fucking desert? Get him in the fucking Vegas thing, standing on the Statue of Liberty's head. We get a good upshot of him and everybody's in the foreground. They're like, oh, fuck, that guy's here. No, you're going to get him for the third, fourth time, just kind of standing and glowing in the desert. And again, on a straight on shot again. And he's still hanging out with the black kids, whatever. He's got a two-headed, that's his two-headed wolf too, I guess, huh? I guess Mike Byrne gave Black Riding Hood a wolf as a partner in that Comicsgate United. Why didn't he give him like a 3-headed wolf? Yeah, let's do a 3-headed wolf. I think when I draw those pages, I'm going to make that dog have 3 heads. One more than Gary Frank and Jeff Johns' dog. 3-headed dog. Little kid's thinking about his mom. That's his memory. As an out of body, because he's the kid, but he's experiencing it as the cameraman would have, or maybe a sibling or somebody else off camera would have seen this image. See, if he would have taken this little black kid out of here, had mom and sister looking as they are right at the camera, it would be like, this is what you saw. And then the candle would be blowing out that way. And then this would have been what you would have saw if you were this little colored kid. This little colored kid. Anyways, you'd see your mom, your sister looking at you, full of spout. He never saw that because he's right here. He's making this up. He doesn't know that these people ever actually smiled when they said happy birthday, Henry. He's making it up because he's right here. He's like, oh, they must have been smiling and happy and hands on shoulders when they were telling me happy birthday. They're so happy that it was my birthday. That's one of my best memories, is when I imagined how they were reacting for my birthday that one time. So just get rid of that. Look at his big old lips. You okay in there, hun? Is hun the new thing? I told you guys the other day, this chick just kept saying hun to me. Hun? You good, hun? 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 It was like 10 times she said hun, right in front of Faye. And I had to hear it when I was walking to the car with Faye. And she kept saying hun, repeating back that girl's stuff. Okay, I don't know. All right. Anyways, guys, there's Geiger. I'm moving on. Beautiful, beautiful boar. Let's look at something a little more jazzy, designy. Oh, the Huns are taking over again. All right. Blood hungry. Wolverine, blood hungry. This is like very horror logo-ish. You'd be, like with this logo, that's not something you would normally find. Wolverine. That looks like blood of Dracula. Blood in the castle. And then you get like zombie shit down here or something. Oh, it's Wolverine and Cyber. Writer Peter David. Oops, I probably just fucked that over there. Sam Keith, artist. Love Sam Keith. Steve DeTuro, Clem Robbins, David Sharp. Now, this is all old school lettering, by the way. So this is lettered on board. It's not like the digital lettering. I always give a pass for these guys. They're doing something much more complicated than digital lettering. Holy shit. Where did I see that? One of these books has Richard Starking's lettering. I would like to talk about that. I feel like Richard Starking's is like one of the first guys to be doing the digital lettering and taking advantage of it and ruining in some ways the art form of comic book lettering. He's the first guy I noticed that was like doing it really poorly on Wildcat X-Men crossover back in the early 90s on the Jim Lee story, I believe it was. Sam Keith, Wolverine. I love the Sam Keith phone chords. You guys remember Matt Barr was bitching about me doing the phone chords on that Max piece, whatever. But I, like many of you, always appreciated those phone chords. It's just oddball, but it looks cool. It's different. So look at that. Look at that. A lot of fun. See, difference, right? This visually is a lot more interesting. We get these kind of crooked panels. We get a head breaking the panel. He's taking off his jacket. Wolverine all fucking arched over. depth going here. It's not like loaded up with background. You know, get these little kind of small inset panels here. I like that a lot. Just, it's so much more interesting to look at. Like, this to me is just like, man, that's comic books, dude. This guy's having fun. I don't know if he's having fun. He might be suffering. I don't fucking know. But look at this. You know what I mean? Okay, now here I would say, look at all this extra white, because we can just follow this line. So we knew he could go all the way to here. Maybe he thought there was going to be more text, but basically, like, you could slide this whole thing up. Or you could leave that down here, and you could actually, you could take this panel, bring it up. You could take this upper part of this panel, bring it up, and you could extend this stuff, whatever. You could have just designed your way a little bit more to kill some of this extra room here. It just looks, everything is kind of like, you know what I mean? Now that I don't mind, you know, like all that extra negative space. Someone like Portasio, I think, does a lot of negative space, but it always looks really cool, man. This just, it's fine. It's fine. This is nitpicking. I know I'm nitpicking. And that's the thing about talking about like art guys is these guys, and kudos to all these guys. These guys are doing like monthly books, you know. I don't know if Gary Frank is doing that monthly. Doubt it, actually. But back in the day, you know, these guys are all doing monthly books. They're knocking this shit out. You know, anybody with a lot of time, you know, even if you have a lot of time, you can. We're all making mistakes. Like, you can pick through my shit left and fucking right and fucking find mistake. You know, and when someone like Gary Frank, I mean, the only mistake Gary Frank's making is that he's just visually boring. Look at this. Holy shit. So fun. But the guy can draw like a motherfucker. He can draw better than me. He can draw better than me. Kudos to him for that. But yeah, this is what I like, man. It's fun to look at. Let's see how the lettering is. We got some top lining up here. This one's an oddball one, an odd balloon. This one's breaking here. I don't like that, because like I'm looking at this and you got a subtle break there. You got a subtle break there. That didn't have to be broken. And this is like tangenting on the actual line. Here we got a top line. This one's fine. When you do all these fancy panel designs, even the slanted one, like top lining can look awkward on those. So the more fancy you get, the more often you will probably be seeing just the ovals. You know, this is broke. They're just well, broke, not broke, but broke. These are drawn so tight, there's not a lot of room for text. You know, planning a little bit of room for text is always a good thing. You know, usually if you just leave room above somebody's head, you know, like, boom, text can go there. It's pretty simple. You got all the room in the world for text here. But yeah, you know, you can go into anatomy and whatever, you'd be like, well, this probably don't work like that, but man, it looks fucking cool. And then are we getting that's not exactly the phone cord. Oh, here we got a little phone cordage right here. And then look at this design. Put a little fucking skull in there, ram, little kind of stylized ram horn, I guess, you know, with that. Some feathers sticking out. Here's some more feathers. There's a slight frame here. This chick, this is all over. So she's breaking up here. All this stuff's getting broken up. Let her, again, I give leeway on that. It looks like there's a lot of kind of negative space right here. But with, you know, you could have brought the balloon in a little closer, I think, but maybe it was looking odd and it was just better to tuck it behind the hair. That's possible. Got this big, crazy crystal ball. We got a incorporated sound effect here. So Sam Keith probably did that lettering himself. Knock it out. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. You're not going to see the craftsmanship of Gary Frank here. So many breaks all over the place. And I don't agree with them all. Definitely don't agree with them all. But look at this. Look at this rendering on fucking Wolverine there. All those little stubbles and shit. Oh, they got a wolf here too. Wolf or a coyote. Somewhere in here is like Wolverine driving a Wienermobile. Then Cyber drives up a bigger Wienermobile. I think we're probably, I think she might be in the scene. We might be close to that actually. But I saw that and I was like, made me laugh. Look at that. This is like reminiscent of Wildcats 1 with Lord Emp in the alley. And they might have done that other. Did they have a Spawn like that too? I don't know, where he's like basically just kind of curled up, all beaten. Look at him, all beaten up. He's all tore up. He's got the phone cords, like more phone cord things all over the place. So much fun. Over here, yeah, more of them. And then this writing, let's see, can't focus on anything. Keep fist against belly wound. That's very Miller, isn't it? Not think about what I'm touching. Guts. Cyber cut me to guts. Cyber guts. That's fucking badass. That is badass. That writing, it's punchy. I remember there was a X Factor. I think it was X Factor, maybe Simonson, when I was early on reading comics, and it was Archangel gets shot down by Sabretooth. Sabretooth has like a sniper rifle and shoots down Archangel, and they get into a tussle on like a rooftop or something like that, and Archangel sends his fucking wings into is that what it is? Does he send them in? It might have been a payback, but they're talking about their guts and like holding in their guts. I'm just like, holy shit, dude. And what you got to think, you're a kid, you're coming from 1980s cartoons, and that was something that also was, I've said was more of an appeal in comics, is that these are really, really good cartoons, which I loved. I loved cartoons, and the stories were a little bit darker. There was more edge to it. Fucking Wolverine smoking cigars and drinking beer. It's perfect for the kind of early teen. Here's the Wolverine Wienermobile. And they keep calling Cyber Coach. I'm going to have to read all this to understand it. But then Wolverine shows up and he's got his small Wienermobile. Then Cyber pulls up, punches him in the back of the head, and we see his fucking blood sausage machine. Look at this thing. And then look at Wolverine's itty bitty wiener. See what I'm saying? That's funny. Coach Cyber. Then they do a just this fork through this little sausage, whatever. Boop. Nice little moment. And then they do this. This was kind of interesting. Cyber is sitting over on one side of the room. This chick is on the other. And he tosses her a paper airplane. And you get to see it go all the way over. She catches it, writes a note on it, and then you get to see it fly back. Yeah, look at this. and he doesn't like it. That's good storytelling there. Doesn't like it, crumbles this fucking thing up in his big metal fist. Again, little design. He's breaking some panel here. Just interesting. Little break there with the hat, the fist. Even a little corner of the paper. Yeah. Really good stuff. Then what did he do? Did he he threw it at the wall there. Not happy. Not happy. With his butt. That cheek. And then, look at this. Look at these panels. So we get some small vertical ones, and then they start kind of fanning out. And then he completely changes direction with this one. Gives it a big, heavy border. What's his thought process on here? Let's see. More hallucination. Okay, so he's hallucinating. Burning in the pit of my stomach. Can't escape it. Can't run from it. Can't run. You can't even run, cyber. And then this is a little too mangled, kind of hard to read. This is it, teacher. This is graduation day, and I'm going to graduate with a RHD. That's Doctor of Blood Types. Thank you for clarifying that, storyteller. And yours is the type of blood I want. What? That's a weird fuck you, isn't it? But I guess Wolverine's tripping out, right? From, is it Cyber's claws? He's tripping out. Got a little hallucinogen. So maybe that's why we're getting the kind of funky shit going on here. Yeah, Sam's the antithesis of Gary Frank. This is Elric. Yeah, it's so much the other way. Look at all these little abs in here. Ooh, ooh. Row after row after row. Yeah. Now here's a little thing. It's a little, like, okay, so we're gonna go from here. We're gonna get up on, you don't see, like, who the hell does any paneling like this? Not even Shane's boy. Who is it? Adam Kubert. Not even Adam Kubert is doing this, guys. Like, look at this. Wink, wink. Crunk. What's crunking? Oh, a door. There's a little door handle. All right. Crunk. She's like, oh, nose. Grabs the gun. And then we're moving here. This is crazy. So we're moving here. Don't move. I've just suffered one animal, Cyber, to leave here unmolested. You will not be so fortunate. Come on, give me a reason to shoot. Well, and then we go over here for 2 quiet panels. That's, I would say, a bold choice to do that, to do it like that. I would almost think that if this was not done digitally, guys, but had it been done digitally, I think that just swapping this bottom section, flipping it, would have just gave us everything we wanted. She would have started on the left. She would have been pointing to the right. We would have followed this stuff down, and then we would have had these 2 quiet panels taking us out. It would have been, that would have been proper, what I would say would have been proper flow. And you could argue that you're getting like a 7 going on here, kind of, right? Well, down, over, and then you're sliding like that. But the idea is to kind of lead the eye out. So you get a Z, or was it, as Rob called it, the inverted S, I guess. Curvy Z. It's never perfect like that, but try to lead the eye out of the page is kind of the goal. I think that would have worked better just with a swap. Look at this crazy fucking dog, dude. That thing is scary. Motherfucker is scary. He's drawing so little, right here. All silhouette, red eyes. Look at this trippy fucking Logan, man. Trippy cyber. Are they both drugged up? I think they're both drugged up. Did Cyber drug himself? How did that work? Did Wolverine make him stab himself? That it's possible. Interesting kind of composition here. It's trippy. You get two heads of Wolverine. This whole fucking flow. The colorist kind of putting in these. I don't know, what would that be? Is it a pink? Magenta, I don't know, with these oranges and greens, like that's like, those are like psychedelic colors. And this thing here, I almost wonder if this thing would have really fucking popped if he would have just left this white. But that might have been tricky, you know, with trying to get the claws colored. You know, you'd have had to go with a subtle gray, I guess, to do that. So he might have just made the you know, the proper choice by putting in a darker tone here to pop out the claws. I would like to see that with just white and then maybe a slight grays on there and see how that would have read. But these guys, again, this is old school. This is probably not even on any form of computer at all. They're probably doing it with like markers and shit and what are color codes for the printers. Stuff that probably Shane knows a lot more about. Ooh, look at this. This is fun. You know, even Todd would do, you know, stuff like that where it's just like, hey, let's just put in a lot of sound effects. Look at these circles. It makes it look like a fucking Looney Tunes thing. They're kind of running. And so he's showing that they kind of ran past each other. Is that right after the, yeah. So here they are zooming in. We get these little white streaks coming off here. And they run past each other. And in that split second that they've ran past each other, it slice, chop, 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 hack, synced, hack, snicked, synced. Let's get some snicks in there. That's funny. This is almost fucking like a Looney Tune thing. And then even to see them here with the two little poofs of smoke cloud. I don't think that's meant as the drug. Oh, and look at this blood dripping into the fucking panel. I don't think these little things are meant as like hallucinogens. I think this is just Sam Keith saying there was action here. But we're pulled out. And then look at these rounded corners here on the panel borders. Just fun. Another sound effect. And look at this shit, dude. What the fuck? Like you were on fucking Mars with Sam Keith in this hallucinogen fight. Holy shit. Wolverine's face is all like layers of rock. There's a little hairy rock. A lot of fun. And, you know, again, like, you know, this guy is not doing anything, you know, on like that Gary, you know, I'm not trying to shit on Gary Frank, but I'm just trying to say, like, look how much fun this is to look at. And exciting. Everything looks exciting. Fucking Cyber doing this little spitooey here. And Wolverine like, no, not my head. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that line. That's, oh, dude, that's good. Who wrote this? What? Peter David. Good on you, Peter David, man. Because they're so fucking drugged up. I'm not finished yet. Oh, I think you are. So long, Logan. Patooey spits on him. It's been surreal. It has been. It has been surreal. And then look at this. Look at this fucking Wolverine. All the fucking little hairs on there. His big chunky elbow. Just wounded. Defeated. And then like even here, like differences in panel borders. So like again, we get the round ones. This one looks like there's a square a very thin line square behind this excited line. Let me just zoom in so you guys can see that real quick. See, it looks like there's a very small implication that there is a thin line rectangular panel behind all these little explosive lines, which he didn't have to do, but he did. He put it in there. But then to put in this big, thick border here, like McFarlane, like this is like stuff Todd would do, and Rob, to be fair, varying the panel borders. Here's a thin line, big, thick chunk line, 2 different size panels, and then this kind of inset here. Oh, dude, look. What is this? Your friends brought me. I sensed you in them. I can't explain it more than that. Slowly, your belly wounded. I'm just about healed. I sniff, sniff. His scent is on. Anyway, fucking smelter, dude. His scent is on you. You were with him. You were with Cyber. He had you just like he had her. Oh, he fucked her. Is what I think that's what he's saying. He fucked her. Fuck the shit out of you, bitch. The guy who did this to me just fucked the shit out of you. You're gonna come over here and heal me. I'll heal my goddamn self. And it pops the fucking claws on her. And then here again, like look at all this negative space, all thick borders. Just it's visually so much more interesting because like you're not getting into like a comfortable mindset with repetitive kind of page structures, panel borders, what's in the panel, what's not in the panel. It's so good. This is an interesting take here. The word balloons are fully out of the panel, including the tail, which touches the panel border and ends. Again, this is old school, but if it was digital, why wouldn't you slide this over at least? You could still have it break out because there isn't, like right above the claw, there's not a whole lot of room for text. You could top line it and maybe you could get this one in, but then you got that one. So you're probably going to have to break anyways, or you're going to have to come down to here and cover up some of the hand. But if you just kept it as is, you can still slide that over. But I guess that tail is not going to comfortably point towards that mouth without crossing over the claws. So I guess that's why they said, fuck it, put it here. See, here it is crossing a claw. And I just, whatever. On the design wise, I just rather see the claws than get a tail going over them. And then great little shot here. Look at this big, crazy, cartoony eye. And then we get, it almost changes like shape into like a little spawn triangle. Like this looks like it's pulled back even further. Lifted up almost like if what are you gonna put her smile? It's gonna lift that little bit of thing, fatty cheek up. Fatty cheek? Oh. And then here, this panel, I almost wish it was a little more left so that we could actually see, and probably even this one too. Yeah, because there is a small line of white there, but it swallows itself up into the center of the book. So if both of these were just somehow pushed over or drawn a little, if this one here was just maybe drawn a little small, we'd be able to see that nice white gutter to frame the frame / panel. This looks great. Fucking Wolverine. This chick is looking hot. She's petting him like a dog. Oh, he's like that. He's like, forgive me. How could I stay mad at a face like that? Just that I got an almost fatal belly wound. Had a bizarre dream. Almost killed you and ran into one guy in the world who gives me the creeps. That is a great panel. This is a nice little 2-shot. Zoom in. Again, zoom in. They could have just drawn. He could have just drawn this. He could have just drawn Wolverine's chest right here, and you could have had her shoulder and maybe a bit of her arm, maybe a bit of her breast in there. He could have just done that. But he said, no, let's make the next shot. Let's zoom in. It adds an intensity, and then he's pulling out again. Boop. Now it's back to like a little 2-shot. Good. Now this one here, I would say my only criticism is these figures are about the same size as these ones. It's minor, but really nice setting. These rocks. It looks like there's a cat up there. We got that dog thing over here. Here's some water. Almost like a little kind of fairy tale-ish setting. Some crazy looking roots here. We got our foam cords all over the place. What is this? It's a weird pose there. This arm. What is he doing? Like some kind of crazy dance? Like a shimmy? I like that he's still wearing his mask. His shirt's off. He's still got his mask on. You don't need to see my face. This other guy. There once was a girl from Nantucket. Always beating on her in Wolverine. I hate limericks. Here you got some Kurosawa level rain just crashing down all over the place. We get some little poolings of it on the mask here. Good. We'll get a nice little shitty grin, claws. We're nearing the end of all this stuff. Look at this. Boom, 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 boom. That is heavy, heavy fucking rain. Cyber over here looking fucking insane. A nice little action. Smiling. Uh-oh. Getting choked. He grabbed his shirt, I think. So he could pop his claw right through his fucking neck. Right there, I think. Maybe. Maybe he does. Nope, he mounts him. Mounts him. Love the rain. Yeah, that rain is so good. I did a Thunderbolts issue with Miles Morales. And I was trying to do the whole thing with like Kurosawa level rain. And I did okay, but this feels heavy. This feels heavy. Look at this. These exaggerated hands. Fucking. Dude, what's he doing? Getting sucked off by the devil? That's what it looks like. Let me suck that dick. Must be tripping balls again. Oh, his skin's adamantium. Is he armored at the neck? I don't know. Maybe he is. I don't know. What about his face? Can you just cut through his face? Talk, 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 talk. I like these little fun kind of letterings. Something you get, again, kind of in Spawn. But look at here. Like very kind of straightforward panels. A grid of sorts, I guess. What is it? 8, 12, 13, 14 panels. And it looks like we got one little break. This one little T is actually breaking the panel border. Looks like everything else is actually self-contained, which I like, because I feel like, you know, when you're going through all this is like chaos. You know, the panel borders, everything is fucking jacked. Things are breaking everything. You know, a lot of things going on. And then when you get to something like this, where it's, you know, like, hey, let's watch the ping pong ball. This is what Gary Frank would have done really well. Everything is now controlled, mostly controlled. You know, it's quiet scenes. This is breaking the borders right here, though. But anyways, I like the idea that you can slow it all back down. You can bring it to the mundane from this. This is all at 11, and then you go right to the mundane, and you can use these kind of simple panels, and the shots are straightforward. Just like I was saying with like the Geiger stuff, it was always like the camera is kind of eye level, and you know, but those are your big, crazy, exciting shots. No, that's, you know, these are kind of, you know, mundane shots. And then we get out here. Look at this. And who the hell is talking? What a good leap to safety, Logan, but it's no surprise. I guess that's Cyberoff panel. There is nobody in this panel. There's a truck down here. But I just love these kind of trees coming up here, and you get this cliff. It looks like there's some kind of moss right here. Fence, maybe some grass on the top here. It's very nice. This warbling, that's going to drive me nuts. It's Cyber, you know, Cyber's here talking, and there is not enough room for his word balloons. So we got all this room down here by Logan's feet, but there wasn't enough room up here. And then even here, he's still talking, and they're connecting everything back to this one. So that's where design almost kind of hurts. Because you should be able to get this stuff. And I think you probably could have gotten these two in this panel. But Cyber's in front of Logan, so to have the tail go off panel, you know, to have, if these two balloons were within this space, to have it go off panel, you'd have to kind of curve it, you know, which would make you think that whoever's talking is actually to the side of Logan instead of directly in front of him. So your only other option, I think, would be trying to fit him down here and then having an arrow going off panel below, but that would make it look like the guy is below him, maybe S and his D, you know. So they're making it work, but Sam Keith did not do the letterer any favors here. Then we get these are in here okay. Again, crazy little, very small. It's not that hard to, you know, just do interesting panels. See, these are just, each one is a little bit bigger. We get a close-up. We get a pulled out shot. Then we get a medium shot. You know, so the figures are changing size. Things are staying interesting. This Wolverine is about the size of that Wolverine. But we do get a switch in the camera angle, and it's still got some impact to it. My cat is going to walk right over this book. Hi. This is Arthur. This is my office kitty, one of my office kitties. It's all over that camera. Here we go. All right. He's just going to stay right there, I guess. You moving? What are you going to do? I'm going to take a sip of coffee while I'm on break here. Oh, he's going to lay right on the book. Give him little pets. He's also got his butt on my mouse, so if he closes my window... All right, I'm going to have to move. I'm sorry, Arthur. Come here, buddy. He's a good cat. He's probably wondering why I'm rejecting him right now. Catastrophe. Yeah, he did decide it was time for his attention. Oh, well. All right, let's see if I can get my camera back on this book. There we go. He's back on my desk, too. He's coming back for round 2. Anyways, yeah. So much more fun to look at this book. Get off there. Oh, he's ready for belly rubs. He's a pretty good cat. Hey, why don't you get out of here? Why don't you get out of here, Arthur? He's like, fuck that. Fuck your camera. That's what he said. Fuck your camera. This is about me. Let's see. What's our next book? Love, love, love. That's Sam Keith. And, like the exaggerate, like when I was getting into comics, like that was kind of the stuff, Sam Keith, Rob Liefeld, Todd McFarlane, these guys that were doing exaggeration, design, really good stuff. And now it's just everything has been put down into like, a little more controlled, and it's just not as exciting. He's getting his ears scratched. He's like, I did the right thing. He's going to knock some of my bottles off. Got a sparkling ice bottle and a old Code Red. All right, let's see what else we got. I think this Captain America was it, actually. What was that? Arthur, better run. Yeah. Watch out. Watch out. You don't get. Guess he does get. All right. I got to move him. I'm sorry, Arthur. There goes another bottle. Come on, buddy. You're a good kitty, but I'm working. All right. Is this Richard Starking's Comic Craft? Okay. Let's get this. Here we go. All right. I was looking at this earlier. Flipped through all these after I bought them. Tiny that little shield looks. This face, it almost looks like a Marv or something. It's not as attractive as Rob would normally. Here comes my cat again. Not as attractive as Rob would normally do on a face. Oh boy. All right. I might have to stop the review. This cat is not going to stop. But I think long story short is we see a lot of these oval balloons all over, get panel breaks. But he's not even trying to top line anything. This is, what is it? 96. This is 1996. Breaking a panel there. This is digital. I would say this is digital lettering. Puts the tail almost on a tangent on this guy's shoulder and on this guy's head. Like, you got all this room up top. Like, even if you're not top lining, these balloons do not need to be sitting on these figures. And this is what I think is a problem with the letterers. Once computer lettering came out, they're just like, oh, it's a free-for-all. It's a fucking free-for-all. God, oval, 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 oval. I like this little haha. It's a little too much in the white for me. This is a really good Rob kind of like NPC basic, I don't know, face, like this kind of fat black guy. You don't see Rob really use that form very much. Rob was doing some really kind of angular jawline and pushing these chins out. I'm not sure. Is that like a old Matsuda influence he was pulling there, or not sure. Rob and his little jacket folds, always fun. Then we get, look at these. Look at these. Just 3 vertical panels up here. It's fine. They colored up the background. What do we got? We got a down shot looking in through a window. We get a little bush here. Now, Rob just did an outline for the bush. Let me pull this up so you guys can see it. He just did an outline for the bush, and the colorist just did a gradient within the outline. I would have liked to have seen the colorist actually go in and kind of copying the little shape, these little kind of oval shapes, and implying, variation. So different little bits of light are hitting those shapes. You can just use a brush stroke, even just boop, 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 boop. Different lighter, darker, lighter, darker, lighter, darker. That would have been nice. That would have been nice for the colors to step and do a little work. Then we're behind the guy. We're looking at, he's watching what the station, I don't know what you call it, reset, where you get, I don't know, the national anthem, maybe. Captain America's fallen asleep. See, look at this chin. That is not, I don't know who Rob was like getting influence from right now. Is that maybe even like a crazy Charest? Because he was getting some Charest influence around this time. Maybe that's some kind of like interpretation of Charest when he was trying to do the more angular stuff in the Wildcats. This is an interesting choice from Richard Starkings. He puts the flag or the shield inside of these captions. Let's see. Now that my cat is laid down, am I able to maneuver enough? There we go. I guess that'll do it. All right. Anyways, let's work with what we got. Oh, here's my little bamboo tablet. So a piece of shit. Don't ever get it. But I got it, and it gets just enough done. More stuff. This could have been in the panel here. Could have just, top lined them or, whatever. And that so close into the head, there's room to go to the left. Here, okay. So you see this caption box, like we got this little silhouette here. Why would you put that caption box right on top of the silhouette? Raise it up, and then we get a clear look at the caption box outline without interrupting the outline of the city here. There's all that room. Why would you ever in a million years make that choice? Then he puts these outside, I'm guessing, so we can still see, some of the water tower stuff. Whatever, it's fine. There's plenty of room over there. But yeah, if that would have just been raised, we could enjoy, our eye would just flow over this very nicely. And then we come to these, and that's good. City shot. Look at that. That's a good Rob city shot too, guys. Like, I don't know if he was having other guys work with him. Like even here, we get a door. There's detail on the brick going around here. Brick on the wall, bunch of cracks. Chick sitting up on that stoop. You get this little big Rob Liefeldian guy walking through here. Got a little skull on his back. Yeah. It's a pretty good page. Pretty good page. Here's that guy. Wait, hold on a second. Yeah. So there's like 2 steps from the ground right here. Now it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10. But even if there was a 10th one here, like where this guy's feet are falling, this guy with green hair. Wait, cat moved. Cat moved. All right, we can do this a little better now. So if we followed this guy's feet, they would probably hit right about here. But the tall guy, he's on his knees. On his knees to look up at that girl. I like this shot here. Now the guy is where to be? Yeah. His head is just higher than this guy's. It's forced, whatever. But I like that. If I wasn't bringing in this one, like that's really tight. That's a really tight little shot there. I like it. Look at that big foot, big shoe on her. No top lining, no top lining, no bottom lining, no top lining. See, you could top line this one with it connected, and you could leave this one not top lined. Even that one not bottom lined, but then you could top line. So it'd be top line, not top line. You could bounce it back and forth. But because time is money now with digital lettering, it's oval, 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 oval. All ovals. Oval, 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 oval. See, even this, it could have been top lined up here. And this is not good. See how this tail goes like that? With modern lettering and editing, get on the phone with the writer or whomever and say, do we need this? Because it ain't working. And actually this would work. This bridge tail here. Why would you tuck it behind that fucking balloon? You got this room over here to get a nice arch on that thing. Why would you tuck it behind the fucking balloon? It looks like shit. That should be avoided anytime. Sometimes you may not be able to avoid something like that, but get on the fucking phone. Make it happen. Fix this shit. Let's see what's saying. First of all, Grandpa won't let you go to a world party rally. Oh, really? Yes, really. You're going to get grounded forever. Well, I got news for you, sis. Grandpa ain't coming or ain't going to stop me. All right, let's see. Because you could take that. You could push that over here. And then you could start this as its own little block. So you could get this one, move it over here. You lose a little bit of this window. Whatever. Fuck that window. So she gets her first thing out. Then we can come over here to the, oh, really? And we can get even her balloons further because, like, it's touching her fucking thumb there. Look at this. Like, it's right on her thumb. Like, you don't have room. Oh, and also they're trying to move so fast, they didn't even merge the tail to the balloon. See, there's still a line there. That line around the oval should be knocked out. So that tail merges, the white merges into the white. Anyway, so we can take her balloons here, which, oh, you know what? It's a mistake. That's what it is. Look. All right, look. Here's her tail. And these are 2 combined balloons, but this balloon has an extra tail. That's a mistake. So in their need for speed, they just jumbled up all this text right here, Richard Starkings. Could have moved this balloon here. We could have started here and text on the top left, top line. Move all this text off to the right here. We still could have got the arch in. Oh, did we lose focus again? Yeah. Let's see if we can get, come on, zero in. Are we good? I think we're good. All right. Here, I think I would have bottom lined this balloon right here and get it off his fucking right dead center on his head. Terrible position. The idea is to try to get these balloons to almost kind of frame, especially when you have a lot of them, try to use it to frame the image, work around the stuff so everything isn't sitting right up on top of the characters. And here, it's right here in the middle of his head. How fucking lazy you got to be to fucking say, I don't want a bottom line here, and just put a small tail. Your eye would have just flown down. You saw that expression and you read, because Grandpa ain't going to know. That would have worked great. But these letterers have turned fucking lazy. John, wait. Oh, he's named John. I'm pretty sure. See this big bulk of text here. I think you can get this into this corner. You could take this little John weight. You could probably slide that to the left a little bit. And then you could put this one right up in this corner. Or maybe even better, maybe even merge the text into one single larger balloon. Get it up here. And go with that. But both these balloons, I would try to get up in here. And then we can actually flow down. We're not interrupted by all this text. And maybe leave his text where it's at. Only because there's not a whole lot of room down here to put it without covering up more of the figures. So these two balloons are okay. These two are not. John. Oh, she flipped to him. That's how I want to get people's attention. I want to do a somersault. I don't know what that is. Is that a push? I guess it's a push. Almost looks like a choke, but it's not. This stuff I would have, again, we're digital now. I just slide this whole grouping down and off of that. Keep it in there clean. Oh, another kind of 3 vertical panel thing. Almost a little Todd. Then he outlined a tree or a bush or whatever. And this time the colorist actually put in a texture, so it's not just a gradient. So there is a little bit of work in there. So that's good. See the little light and dark spots? That's putting in a little work. And then they put a little colored background in a Nazi flag. So, like, I don't know, just the swastika, I'd rather like it just be thicker. It looks like a very kind of thin swastika. You know, it should be a very thick graphic, you know, that I'm just saying that's how I would handle it. And this, is this where I saw that light? Yeah, there's some really good kind of lighting going on here. And then they kind of screwed it up with, where is it? Here it is. Look at this. Like I saw this and I was like, wow, these are really good colors, man. Look at these warms going up and then you kind of move into these blues. Like whoever colored this is doing like a bang up job. You get a little red in here. It may not look as red. It looks almost a little red here. But like you get these little streaks of light. I'm like, ugh. These little kind of sunbursts. I'm like, that's not, brother, not, but man, these steps, all these little nice little tones in here, that's great. Like really, really fucking good. This is the characters looking down the steps. I think I'd rather this be pushed over to the left so we're not sitting right. We're dividing this line. You know what I mean? The first one, okay, you know, because we would have enough line to still see the step where it connects to the steps, but I would push this over to the left But this is a down shot, so he's looking down the stairs, and now we're down the stairs looking well, kind of up. I mean, we're at about, I don't know, knee level while he's coming down. So Rob did a little camera swap there. Then a close up. But we go back to that one thing, even though I love the coloring on here, this figure is kind of pretty close to the size of this figure, you know. Let's get back to that maybe. So we get big, small, big. It's nice if you get big. It's nice if you can go like big, small, smaller, or small, bigger, bigger. Then we get to, that would be an extreme close-up, I guess. We get some rockets. This is good coloring here too. Colors going in there, doing some work. Here's some more sunbeams. Just they don't look. It's like bleached out the character here. There's not enough dark for these rays of light to really do anything, but to make everything almost white. So I don't like what they're doing there. I don't like what they're doing there. I don't really like what they're doing here either. And then again, almost like a Frank Miller. Rob's kind of doing like a Frank Miller here. Heavy shadows under the nose, all around the eyes, these cheeks. Big clunky Miller, or maybe even Kirby-esque. Yeah, maybe even Kirby. You know, these big clunky fingers here holding onto the shield. But again, that's a different Rob face. That's not Chapel. You know, he's actually going in there. Is that's not the same guy from before, the fat guy, is it? Did he lose weight and get buff? It's possible. It's possible. I don't think the guy had even that hairstyle, did he? Let's see. Where was that? No, not it. Can't be the same guy. He looks different. Yeah, he looks different. He's got a brown jacket on though, or whatever shirt. I don't know. Does he have a name? No, he does not. Does not have a name. Oh, he's ratting on him. He says, "Sir, we have a problem, or may have a problem." Okay, here he is. This guy. Wait. Oh, he's flashbacking. Okay, all right, there he is. This is the black guy. They drive by. All right, I was gonna say, wait, don't tell me that guy is that guy. No, he's right there. All right, so there's a third black guy, it seems. Then we find out that he's like 3 feet tall. Look at this guy. Holy shit. He's tiny. Holy shit. Rob's characters all kind of look alike, to be honest, as Chad. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, Chad. Like, he's actually going off model with this guy. And actually, one of those young bloods, he was drawing some people. Were they Muslim? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, one's a Muslim. These people, which I'm not sure is actually accurate. So these guys that are brought in this Youngblood book, this is a new Youngblood. Is this 4? This is 2. This Xerxes guy is kind of bringing people, I don't know why, from the past into current day. I think it's to swap them out. I think it's like, in order for you to go into the past, you have to swap with somebody in the past. Maybe a little quantum leap. So this Xerxes guy is going back to Jerusalem in like 33 AD, I think. So I think he's right around the time they executed Christ. I think maybe he's trying to stop the execution of Christ. I don't know. But I was like, oh, look at Rob, going in here, doing these kind of off-model faces here. I was happy to see that. But then I saw this one and I was like, isn't that a Muslim? I don't know if people were wearing that in 33 AD because Muslims weren't a thing. They didn't exist in 33 AD, right? But were Jews Christians weren't really a thing in 33 AD. Was anybody wearing that in 33 AD? Yeah, in order to move his forces and equipment, we have to remove an equivalent volume. Yeah. But anyways, I like the little headdresses here. Rob's done some designs too. I know he wants to do or wanted to do like some biblical stuff like David and Goliath, except it's a little bit more Kirby-ish in design. It looked cool. I think he had Moses. He had a design for Moses. But they look like almost like Rob Liefeldian kind of superhero-y big robes and whatever. I don't know. It looked cool, man. But yeah, I think when I saw that, I was like, I don't think that's right. I don't think they had that in Jerusalem, 33 AD. Look at that. Like Rob's giving this stuff a little bit of love here and there. And it really bothers me how scrawny Shaft's neck is getting. But this Youngblood, a lot more was going into like the panels. So all the little bubble stuff. That's cool too. Bad Rock with that helmet. Yeah, he was putting in more work on this one than he did on the first one. And this is 2. This is 3. Like, look at that. It's almost like Rob's getting back. And like I'm like, damn, Rob's getting back in the game. This motherfucker's getting back in the game. Look at that. And that's good Rob stuff. Good Rob. I saw there was a cover B by Dan Fraga. I think, did this show it? They show all the covers in the back for like the next issue. Where's it right here? Yeah. So anyways, here's Rob's cover. That's the one we're looking at right here. Beautiful work by Rob. There's Kari Andrews. Kari does good work. He's always changing his style. And then there's a Dan Fraga. And I'm like, what the hell was Dan drawing? I'm like, that's a Youngblood? That's your Youngblood cover, Dan? I was like, what the fuck? I like that Kari Andrews one, though. Always changing his style. Yeah, so anyways, where were we? Issue 3 here, man. From a book that had issue 1 had almost 0 backgrounds. And then we just start seeing things getting kind of pushed up. Look at these. You get these, what are they, like eternal kind of type guys? Celestials, what are they called? Marvel. Look, they're big as planets, guys. Love that. Love that. That's okay. That's okay. Look at this. Look how big that head is. It just says insignificant. Damn, you are, because you're like fucking ants. Look at them. They're like fucking ants. Love that. We get some Kirby Crackle going up in here. We got some Kirby Crackle up in this bitch. How are we looking on the panels? Oh, he's got white borders. He must have read Godlike. He must have said, I want to be like John. All white borders here. Oh, here's a little black border. Didn't get knocked out. Oh, wait. No, there's a little. Yeah, there's a little. Yeah, I think the whoever just knocked in the white borders just didn't make sure they knocked all the lines out there. But I love how there's just a lot more going on. Here's, excuse me, here's some of that boat. Look at this overlap on these panels. You know, two little, what are insets overlapping here. Simple. I like it. White borders. Yeah, who is this? Bad Rock. Roman? Is that right? Roman. Isn't that Namor backwards? Roman. And I don't know. Namorda. I don't know what her name is. Yeah. Oh, nice little Bad Rock. The colorist kind of went in here and did the teeth. I don't know. Is that kind of? Yeah, I guess that line kind of connects, right? You need a little arch here. John, did you buy any DC comics? No, I don't think so. Let me look at my pile. No, I don't. Oh, you know what? I did. Yeah, right. Because I bought that. Byrne and Austin. That was Brainiac. Let's see. Oh yeah. Where's that? I'm flipping through some books real quick. Shit. I had other books that were like from the $3 thing at the antique mall or antique store. I guess they're not up here. Did I not? I guess I didn't bring them up. But yeah. Oh, there we go. Look, there was a she in there for $3. And this has like some gold stuff on it. Whoever was selling these was not caring to make any profit on this because they had like a $1.95 comics and they were like priced them at like $2. Maybe they bought them all in bulk. Oh, snap. Look, $20 on the back. 20 on the back, guys. And I got this for $3. Yeah, see, look, this was $2.50. And this is where they tore the tag off because it had a tag like this that said $3. $3. I got a $20 book for $3. How about that, collectors? First print she #1. Is that what it is, Jason Wright? What's happening, Jason Wright? Let's see. Guys, look it up. Tell me if I got a gold mine sitting here. Oh, it's almost got me in trouble there. 1994, first printing. She, Way of the Warrior. William Tucci, president. William Elliott Tucci. William Tucci. Oh, better. Billy, dangerous. Billy gonna get me in trouble. Oh, look at that. Wow, that looks great. Fire. Tucci. Oh, Tucci, 93. $10 on eBay, Cursor. All right. Well, it would make $7 on there then. Groovy. Wait, what happened here? Is this still Billy? Gets a little style, goes off a little bit, huh? Do. Ooh, look at all these spears. That's good. Dude getting jacked. What is that? Is that Billy drawing himself? Billy drawing himself in here. I like this little panel design here. See, he's palm popping out a little bit. It got this cool fucking, I don't know, sun. Is that a sun? Rising sun type thing. Very cool. I like that a lot. Billy draws guys, Alric. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Yeah, to be slaughtered by women. There's a black man right there. Here's some trippy colors. Again, a little psychedelic. Green, purple, yellow, yellow. Oh, I like this little blood effect. Oh, look, we get a little homeless guy laying in the alley. Curled up like a little baby. Like a little baby. What year was this? 93, 94? Was it? 94 for sprinting. So Image was already going for 2 years, and Billy came out with this. And I don't know, within a couple of years was partying, renting out, what is it? Air Force carrier ships, I think. So you could party on the deck like a baller. Anyways, $3, guys. For she. Let's flip through this real quick. This is the only one well, this and she, I think I didn't flip through. The only two I didn't flip through. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh, that looks good. Superman 1? Oh my God, I'm a millionaire. It's Superman 1, guys. All right, come out, whoever you are. Heart of Stone. John Byrne is pretty damn good. I love like Byrne tech, you know, all these little things. I wish I could do that, but I kind of, I tend to settle for like, I don't know, G.I. Joe tech, I guess. You know, if you watch the cartoon, G.I. Joe, Transformers, all their background tech, it was like a very simple, clean. It's very effective, but John Byrne just, I don't know, is it organic? I don't know. It just feels different. Oh, look. See what I'm talking about? Look at top line, top line, top line, top line. Everybody can see the art. Top line, top line, top line. Oh, sideline. So you can see the art. Let me get some narration here. Top line, top line. Or I'm sorry, top line. Oh, wait. Top line, oval, oval, bottom line. So you can see the art. Top line here, see the art. Yeah, whatever, little sideline. They didn't really have to do that, but whatever. There you go. Look at all this art. Get the words out of the way, so you can see the art. So you can see the art. It's framing. It's framing. This is part of the frame. This is part of the frame. And see the art. Up top, out of the way, see the art. See the art. See the art. Top line, top line, top line, top line, top line. Sideline, sideline. Here's the art. And then look at this. These are little thought balloons. They push them all the way over here. And they just give you a couple little stray balloon bubbles coming back. They're like, that's all you need. So you can see the art. Top line, bottom line. Top line, sideline. More or less oval. Top line, sideline. This is what they did. This is what I keep trying to show people. Like they used to frame the art. See, look, they got it out of the way there. Look at that. You can take that in. If this was done today, you'd have balloon 1, balloon 2, balloon 3, balloon 4, and they'd say, "Look, I made a line." You know, look. Now we can see the fucking art. Out of the way, out of the way. Everything here, boop, 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 nice shape, horizon, top line, bottom line, top line, bottom line. So when I go through a modern book and all I see are ovals that are not connected to any panel walls, I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck, yo? Let's see what we got. out of the way, top line, a little sideline, up into the top, up into the top, up into the top, up into the top, to the top, to the top. Even here, like they could have done one to the top and they could have broke one free. They said, frame the art. Boom. Gotcha. Look, text up here out of the way. Tail on the tip of the head. Yeah, I don't like that. But also, again, this is old school. This is not digital. These guys are working on strict timelines. They're doing this by hand. So I give them a lot more leeway. But they knew they had to get this shit out of the fucking way. And when John Byrne drew this panel, look at all that room he left for that text, right? This whole half of this panel, boom, is all for text. Left room above their head so they could conversate without having to put balloons all over their fucking bodies. Same here, left room here so they can conversate. No balloons on their bodies. Room above their heads, guys. And it's above their heads, above their heads, above their heads. Now, I like to see it when people are like, okay, let's plan that one time it goes above their heads. Maybe the next time it'll drop down and we'll have text down below. And then we'll have the heads up here, and then we'll have the text back up here. So instead of everything being crammed to the top every time, again, you could change it. So everything goes to the top one time. Maybe all the text kind of goes to the bottom. Not all the text, but the bulk of the text. There's nothing wrong with having free-floating ellipses, but just look at how they did this stuff. And this is like peak stuff, guys. Peak stuff, peak lettering. Look, just frame around here. Whoop. And you get to see all this stuff. You get to see it all. See, here's a little free floating thing. It does a little overlap here. Right? It's all right. Ooh, laser tag. People still do laser tag. I don't think I've ever gone out and actually played like an actual laser tag. I might have shot somebody that had a laser tag vest once, at best. But never actually played a game of laser tag. All the text out here. Hunk. Oh, shunk. Punch a guy in the punches. Hunk. Top line. Everything out of the way. You can see this action. Top line, bottom line. Out of the way. Again, this is old school. If this was digital, I would probably say, hey, we could probably take one of these balloons and bring it over. There's so much empty space here. You know what I mean? Like you might be able to fit all of this actually in here. Maybe leave 1, 2 over there. Take this third one, bring it up top, and then bring all that, right there. That would read pretty well. On to the left, off the figures, set it in here. This one, the balloon actually tangents onto the head. Again, I try to stay away from that stuff. This one here, I would actually see how close the top of the balloon is to this horizontal line and how much room we have right down here. So I would actually take this and I would drag digitally, with modern lettering. I would ask the letterer to pull this down and center the word balloon within this kind of shape, this rectangular shape here. Just center it down. Let's see equal amount of distance under the balloon as above the balloon. Top line, top line, top line, top line, top line, top line, top line. Just go through any modern comic that's out there, guys, and just tap every balloon and say how many times they top line versus using a free floating balloon. Look at this. They could have done free floating balloons here easily. They still chose to top line it. So here, this is what I mean when I say free floating. It's just, it's not attached to a wall. This is what you see in modern comics all the time now. Almost exclusively to actually see somebody take the extra step that it takes to top line a balloon. They would rather do these because they just drop them and go, drop and run. They don't have to do any of this stuff. And that's why they're also the balloon, the art is getting covered up more, because they're not doing that. They're not doing the work to get these out of the way. So just go through any modern comic and say oval, 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 top line, oval, 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 top line. And that's the complete difference between how they used to do it, where they cared about it and trying to show the artwork, and what they do now, which is just drop the balloons and run. Just run with it. And when it's done right, you just read a pleasant experience. And look at this. Like even me, I don't know if I would even top line all this stuff, but they do it and it still looks good. This right here looks pretty good. Here, I'd probably try to sideline, because like, what are you doing with this space? You know, like, do you need this little gap of red and little gap of blue? I don't really think so. Digitally, I would have the letterer just sideline all this stuff. And then you align the text to the right, so it lays up against this border flat. And it would, I think it would be an improvement on what's here. And then this, good, great. Look at it. Left room above the head, left room above the head. It's like the norm, guys. Top lines, bottom line, top line, top line, top line, top line, top lines, top lines, top lines. Room above the head. This one actually just barely squeaking past here. Little grid. One overlap, one instance of overlap there. And this is what I'm saying. Like editors don't know this. They don't know it. They would, you know, at some point, digital lettering started around 90, I don't know, 92, 93, maybe 94. Probably 93. I don't know if Orzechowski was hand lettering Spawn or if he went digital. But modern editors don't care about the lettering. They care. They handed the responsibility of lettering off to the letterers, and the letterers say, well, they don't know what to look for, which is this stuff, top lining. They don't know about that stuff. So let's just say, fuck that. And all we do are ovals, because we can increase our page output, which makes us more money at the expense of the quality of the storytelling, the reading experience. So editors don't know this, and letterers don't want to tell them about it, because it's very profitable. It's very profitable to just do those. So they don't care that it's at the expense of the art. They care that to sit there and to do it properly would take, 5 more minutes to top line all these balloons. And they say, no, I just want to do ovals. And then when you're using just ovals, you end up eating up more space, because to fit an oval, you're not even going to see this much. You're going to have to start covering up some of this stuff more in order to fit just ovals in there. So, and then you're like, oh shit, I guess I got to chop the text out. No, you don't. They're fucking you by not flatlining these things, top lining, sidelining. These are things you should be looking for if you're an editor. You gotta get everybody on board, everybody in shape. And then, believe me, letterers are not going to want to work for you, because they're going to say, well, I make more money by working with ignorant editors than I do with informed editors. So look at this. Look at all this room in here, and they still top lined it. Little tail here, little tail there. They trust you not to be an idiot. This is interesting. All right, so we get a top line one here, and this one, it's still good. You could say, yeah, we get our little direct line. So we read, we see who's talking, we get the text, and everything points back there. Only thing I'd say on that is just, again, I kind of like it when we have an opportunity, if we can get eye contact uninterrupted. So on here, I probably would have said, well, why stop now? Let's bottom line these two balloons. So, that's personal choice, but I'm trying to give you guys a little insight of how my retarded low IQ brain works. All this stuff up top keeps all this art here. Look, that's your art. That's your art right there. You can read it. There's no balloon over the figure. These guys that do all the ovals, they would have them coming over the legs, over the knees. They would do whatever they can to skip this one step of flatlining these balloons to the panel borders. Look at this little bottom line one. This one little word here, it says longer. They're going to put it anywhere in here. There's all the room in the world. They still chose to flatline it down here to the bottom and let you see all that stuff. This is good. This is good. That's fine. Did that need to break the panel border? I don't know. I don't think so. You could have flatlined it, I think, and nudged it over here. Digitally, that's what you would have done. Nice little panel. Nice little panel. Okay, and there's, who's it? Metallo? Is that who they said it was? Metallo? But I love looking at old comics and seeing that, the ways things were done to conserve space and to help the art by framing the art. And if you look at like a Mark Millar comic, whoever letters those, and maybe it's Mark Millar's fault, I don't know. But he will put they will put a paragraph of text in one large balloon. One large balloon. And it'll be an oval. They rarely try to flatline, top line or sideline or bottom line, anything. It's a fucking paragraph in a balloon. And same thing. They're sticking and moving. They're copy, pasting, moving on. I like to see stuff get broke up. I'd rather have two balloons than just one big ass fucking chunk of text. This in a Mark Millar could be one balloon right there. All right. Anyways, there's our Superman book. Back to the Rob Liefeld love. Woo-wee! Get excited, guys. This water looks great. Like, it looks like Rob actually went in here and did some work. There's some little blacks in there, little line work in here. Most of the time you think Rob might just draw a fucking horizon line and the colorist would just go in there and do it. But there's work in here. There's actual line work in here in spotted blacks. The boat, again, I love Rob, man. Like, he's like, this is a boat. He's not drawing the extra decks or he's like, this is the boat. I already established it in issue 1. We're in issue 3. If you don't know this is a boat at this point, that's your bad, not mine. Then we get these kind of like what he was doing with the Captain America stuff, these big black areas under the eyes. He kind of renders out. I think I saw more examples in here. Oh, maybe it was actually with the people from the past. Let's see. Oh, that's a great little face there. Really pointy on the jawline. But actually, this is actually pretty good, man. Like, the eyes, it doesn't have the floating eye. Rob usually has this eye is kind of floating off. Like, this almost looks like a 3-eye wide set. The nose is fitting in between the eyes, and everything has a really good center. Only thing I kind of maybe question is that these 2 points are perfect. And like that, this is how dumb fucking retarded I am. Just how symmetrical these 2 points are. But this is a good face. It's a good face. The lashes on the eyes, the Namorita, whatever her name is, eyebrows there. Look at this. Fucking those teeth grind. If Rob drew that back in the day, he'd have, 30 fucking teeth going back in there. And he's got these big clunkers. Ugh. What are those? What are those? Guys, yeah, they might be like, I don't know, some Brittany Venti feet or something. But, or who's that? The chick from Captain Marvel. But when you guys say Rob doesn't draw feet, what are those? He's drawing feet. Don't tell me motherfucker ain't drawing. Look, here's a foot. What are those? Motherfucker don't draw feet. He don't. What's that? Yeah, I just wish you'd fucking be drawing Badrock like you did back in the day, man. You know, just looks, you know, looks like a rough, you know. But whatever. We're getting a little bit more Rob. I'm happy with that. Namor Rita. Yeah. That's a good Badrock face right there. Hell yeah. Like that's on point, man. That looks good. It looks like Rob might be giving him a little extra dome up top. I feel like look at that. That's very high. I feel like if I pulled out like, you know, 1992 Youngblood, that Badrock isn't going to have that high of a dome on top. Maybe he does. I don't know. I don't think I drew him with that high of a dome. Maybe I'm just putting it through my own personal thing. I don't know. But look at this, man. Is he inking this? What is he doing? Yeah, he is. He's inking this. That's great. That's really good. I love seeing Rob just getting in here doing the work, man. Get some nice little lines in there. In the forehead, little cross hatching, all this stuff. Probably better for resale too, right? When you're selling original art. Because I think he's just been doing darkened pencils for a long time. I don't know. Maybe when he did the Bad Blood stuff with Deadpool, maybe he was getting some inks down. And then I wonder if, is Marat out there doing some of the work? I don't know. Marat would come in and do some work for Rob. Yeah, look here. This little fall. Womp, womp. Oh, this is him beating him up. And I'm kind of like, again, we're modern age. Do I want the womp over the figure? Is that necessary? We can go we're digital. We can do whatever we want here. And then, look, guys, we get one top line balloon. They knocked out the line. I like that. I like what they did here, period. Even the floating one. Oval, 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 oval. You see the difference between old school comics and modern comics? Oval, 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 top line. Oval, 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 oval. Love the layouts. Love them. Little yelly face. So we get a small figure, Badrock. Badrock is not on scale with, regular humans. So, I mean, I don't know. I probably would have made Badrock larger because he's so big. He could actually be going sideways. Throp? What is throp? Why not just put a W there and say throw? This is good. Juicy close up. And again, the top of the head looks like the colorist kind of finished it. But if you would have framed it, put the panel top right about there, that would be nice and tight. I like that. Nice and tight like that instead of just having that little gap there. And again, guys, this is all, hindsight 2020. When you're sitting there doing it, he may be thinking, well, maybe we'll put in more text or whatever. This is minor. This is very minor what I'm saying. Just things to consider. But we're in juicy close and we're pulled out. Kind of similar shot to here. you know, it's just kind of backwards. I don't know. Close up, shot of the hand. Oh, here it says, literally says blast. So I guess having throw and blast, you'd be like, eh. A blast, you could put in a what, like a fwoosh, FWOOSH, and people would, I think, still understand that he's firing. I do believe. Get a little guy up here. This is Chapel. This is Chapel 2, I do believe. Son of Chapel. You know, interesting design, kind of an inset overlapping that shot, and that's kind of cool. What's he doing there? Like squeezing his head. Another inset. And this is not as like detailed. Like, I don't know, maybe he's just kind of phoning this guy in a little bit. But you know, like you see this, and it's like, you know, you get the little tongue in there, you get a little more implication of the teeth, and you know, and it's the tiny teeth, you know. Look how tiny those teeth are. Little baby teeth. Oh, probably 30 teeth in there. Bottom row. And then we get these, again, the big clunkers. I just wish he was putting in a little bit more love on that. Die Hard looks great. This smack as one big piece of black. I think they might have screwed up. Like, there's probably another layer of colored lettering on top of that, but that does not read very well. Does not read very well. We got a couple top line there and there. So we get 2 top lines, but we are outnumbered, gentlemen. Our top line balloons are outnumbered by all these damn ovals. Yeah, it will drive me crazy. It will put me into the loony bin. The machine man, you too will fall. That's a good line. Boom, right over the action. I don't know. You probably do something a little more clever than that. You know, these little action marks. It's not the worst. This one's okay. Kusmak. I like placement wise. Probably too yellow for me. Put a little gradient on it. I like gradients on sound effects. I prefer a darker tone up top, lighter tone down below. But that's preference, I think. See, it's like here, if we were in the old school, you know, that Superman Byrne stuff, this one would easily be bottom lined right down here, maybe, or top lined up here. Then we get to see this. But if we did top line that, I would want it top lined up here, up in the top left corner. That'd be the first thing. But then we have a lot of breathing room to get to that next line, to the point that I would probably want this one brought in right here, maybe free floating, a little tail pointing towards Die Hard, almost a Deadpool. And then we would need another quip or something right here. Look how good that face is. Rob's got this fucking like core shadowing thing for Die Hard and Deadpool, where you know, it's maybe not realistic, but it always looks fucking cool. Almost always looks cool. I'm sure there's a time it doesn't, but good stuff. I like this. His arm is all ripped off. Gets his arm ripped off. See these little cables and shit coming out of here. Now, you could also argue that in terms of the shot, again, if you're looking at the layouts for this as an editor, I would say, even though I like this a lot, I would try to get this to be the big shot. Him ripping his arm off. Like that, like versus this. As much as I like this shot, you know, it's got a lot of space. It breathes well. But that is our big action right there. That's our action panel. And it's tiny, and then we actually pull back more. And I would like to see all these cables popping and, you know, little electrical shocks coming out of there. That pointy nose. Oh, got one top line down here. This could be bottom line. You see what I mean? Like, you're that close to the panel border anyways. Do I need this information of the yellow underneath here? Do I really need that? Do I need the information of all this kind of green line work up here? Just bring one of these balloons up to the top. Just one of them. Just one. That's all I ask. And then we get a nice little what I would call a stair step. You know, you get one higher, one lower. You know, whoop, whoop. Bottom line that 1/8 of an inch right there and over here, we really don't need it. You could push that right into that corner if you wanted. This one is fine. You know, what you could put it, if we're talking Byrne, you could easily put it up here and put a little tail. And people are going to say, oh, okay. What's he saying? Hello, it's me again. Your ever-loving, green-eyed... You cut him off. Cut him off. Legal, cut him off. And this punch, it's okay. You know, like, did he uppercut him? If he is, let's see, instead of the bam there, let's see his jaw, you know, cocked back like that. Like, where is this? If he's here, here's the uppercut. So what is this? Is that a gut punch? What's he punching? The bam actually makes it hard to read. It's because it's kind of cutting into all these lines. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's punching. Guys, here's a nice little top line here. But see, all the blams are actually in front and they're covering up the explosion. We could push these up, this top two up and the bottom two down, and then we would be able to kind of see where this energy of this gun is kind of cutting through. And if you see right here, Rob actually left a gap in the speed lines. Like that's where the bullet or whatever the blast is powering through and interrupting the speed line. So even the colorist might have missed a little thing there and nobody caught it. And that should have been colored, you know, possibly yellow. But we don't need all the blam all up on that fucking blast, guys. We don't. See, even that chook goes right on top of the blast. Chook, chook, chook. We don't need it right up on there. I'm not sure we need these at all. But if you're going to have them, I would probably take it off just to where we can read the outlines clearly. So like the outline of his arms, the outline of these blasts. You can put this little CHK maybe right up here in the tricep or something. You can move this onto the rib, This one, maybe you put it right here out in the air here. And this one, you know, I don't know, maybe out here. We're out here. We get a little oval here. It's okay. It's okay. But we get oval, oval, top line, oval, 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 oval. And that one's understandable because there is no panel border there. You could do the fake out. Not here because he's got this explosive join us panel where the balloon is kind of bursting. But if it was a more casual line, you could do the fake where you fake the panel border and you top line the word balloon and then you put in the word balloon. It's an option. Here I would have top lined it. Why not? Do we need this one little eighth of an inch of information? Or can we get this up and out of the way? And when you top line a balloon, you can put more words across the first line. So this has "we won't." But if you had top lined it, it would be, you would probably be able to get at least, well, you definitely would get "come" in there. Come. But you might have got "back." So "we won't come back" could have been the first line running all the way over here. "We won't come back." So that would have made the balloon shallower, leaving even more room for people to enjoy the art. Get it up out of the way. You could take one balloon up here. You could. And then you have a tail. And then you take that little baby balloon, put it down here, and give it a little tail. And you enjoy the art. See, this is over top of the characters. But I bet you could probably fit it right up here. Bet you could. Oh, but I do appreciate, see, we go where our text is up top, down below. So they changed it up and up top. But if we could get this up top and maybe this one down below, but we got so much hair, you wouldn't want to cram it down there because there's not a lot of room. You got a lot of room up here. Get a little money. Battlestone, right? Battlestone. Uh-oh. What are those? What are those? Feet. Drawing feet. Can't say don't draw feet when he's drawing feet. Feet. What are those? This looks like old school Rob here. Right? Didn't he use this guy before? I really feel like in a lot of ways, Rob is getting his mojo back. There's another good face right there. Rob's getting his mojo back. It's 3. There's 4. Oh, yeah. See, here's those black under the eyes again. Looks great, man. And Battlestone looks scary with like these red eyes. But then we go to the very next page. And it's, all that shadow work is gone. He's got pupils now. He doesn't have red eyes. And now he just kind of looks a little oddball. You know, like that's all it took to kind of get rid of that sizzle. But again, good line work here, all up in the abs and the ribs. A little light here in the neck area for Rob, I think, but whatever. Good, handsome faces. Her face is all right. These guys, curvy, big, curvy fucking giants. That's cool. And then, I just wish there was more. Give it his shoulder. Do those shoulder. Put those shoulder pads on there, man. And like, that's half the battle, right? It's half the battle. With Badrock, again, back in the day, dude, the Badrock would have like those crazy boots and pouches. Like Rob for a time was really decking him out. Love that. This is almost like Shane Davis. Look at all these windows. Look at all these windows. Oh, here's the some of the other diehards. Halt, life form. See, again, we could have got that up here, up to the top. We could have read that first, give the eye time to travel down here. You could have left that. It's crikey. Halt, you will be terminated. One of them, just one. Bring it to the top, all the way to the top. Again, the sound effects getting all over the effect here. This one works. See, you can see it. This one's right on top of it. It's not the worst crime. It's not the worst crime. I'm sure if you go through my stuff, you'll probably find it too. Look at this. This is an interesting thing, right? Floating head, bad rock. All that white negative space here. Nice little clouds. I really like his colorist. Who is this guy? Juan Manuel Rodriguez is doing good work. You know, these little highlights on these puffs of clouds. We get a shaft. Oh, look, he's got those little arrow tips that we were talking about before, where they're not really tips. They look like kind of like target arrows, but I guess the archers are using them. These just being kind of boop boop. Again, you could take one up top and you can stair step them, and it'll look a lot more interesting than that. But that saved the letterer, you know, a minute, and a minute is money to these letters. I saw this. I like this a lot, dude. This Thor. This is Thor. Look at, he's a fucking giant, dude. Here's Shaft. Here's Badrock's arm. Look at him. The mighty Thor, felled by the shepherd. Would Shaft say felled? You know, Shaft is like a regular dude. You know, he's not like Asgardian or anything. The mighty Thor felled. You know people in your lives who have died, and you're not like, oh yeah, my mother was felled by a car accident. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't think that's what Shaft would say. After that debacle, the rest of the gods retreated, in quotes. And they just abandoned him here, hammer and all, like it was nothing. And I guess this is now Maximage. Maximage, when I did Image, was a chick. It might be a Elseworlds kind of thing. Multiverse going on. No fingernail. Is that a glove? Should that be a glove? Was that colored wrong? I don't know. There's no fingernails on here. It looks like there's a little kind of trim. Sorry. There you go. But when I saw this, I'm like, oh, okay, well, that looks cool, though. We get red, like Superman, blue, like Superman, yellow, kind of trim here, yellow on the gauntlets, you know, red, yellow, blue, good colors. And then we dash in some gray. Blue on the neck, I was wondering if that was a mistake, but whatever, it works. Works good. Looks cool. Like it looks, you know, this little bit right here is the only thing that's kind of questionable. It looks like a flesh tone, but there's all this kind of mesh going on. I don't know. I don't really know what that is. My brain doesn't really compute it. But otherwise, yeah, his design looks pretty good. Pretty, you know, kind of simple. I like the kind of swooping on the shoulder pad. Next time we see this shoulder pad, it'll probably be completely different. But I like it. Really nice little Badrock head right here. See, look how tiny his neck looks. You know, you see the back of the skull, and it should be up higher, really. I think it should be right about where the bottom of the ear is, I think. But yeah, just skinny neck. I'd just take this line. I just make the whole thing swoop back into the shoulder. You know, little elegant line. This is a great little face right here. We get the little black shadow. I will always love these little black shadows under the eyes that Rob does. This one isn't executed as well, but this one looks really cool. And Badrock looks fucking great. Cheap cheekbones. Then we get here, and you know, I'm not in love with Rob's dragons. He's doing dragons, and that makes me happy. But also, look, he's doing vegetation here on the sides. We get some mountains in here. He's got this little kind of, I don't know, branch root thing here too. Like, this is Rob putting in a little bit of work, guys. Then we get a white guy on the dragon. And then this, is it Chapel 2? Is it Chapel? What is this? Where did this guy come from? I'd have to be reading all this to tell you guys. I don't know. Don't know where this guy came from. It says, we missed you on the hunt today. Could have used your skill with the bow to take down the wild boar. Okay, I guess he's talking to Shaft. Truth be told, I love it here. I don't ever want to leave. Okay. I don't ever want to go home. I want to be in the world of dragons. I don't know. I mean, it's all fun and games so you run out of ammo. Oh, look at this. His handle looks like another clip. There's no there's no trigger guard here. Oh, let's check out balloons real quick. Oval, 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 oval. One bottom line. And this one here would have worked great. This one panel, because again, you got this. Do you need that information? Just push it up, and then here, just push it down, and then we're going to see as much of this panel as possible. Comfortable space around the characters. It's lost. So if you would have top line that one, bottom line that one, you could have left this one as an oval. Looks nice, kind of sitting in the black there. And then you leave that one bottom line. This one probably is the best choice because you're not covering any of the figure. If you try to top line it or bottom line it, you would end up covering some. It's not the worst thing, but whatever. I think they did okay there. This one here could have been top lined. And that one there is okay. We get a nice upshot here. We see there's a figure there, but we don't make out the figure. Then we get a closer look. And now we see the figure. He's bigger than he was here. Now we get close up again. So again, we go from very small to medium to very big. And then we pull back out. See, this is visually interesting language here. So we go from pulling all the way back out to where they're very tiny, medium shot, close up. So smallest, larger, larger. Smallest, larger, larger. Smallest, larger, larger. Good stuff. That's the way to get through like conversation. Small, medium, big. Small, medium, big. Big, medium, small, small, back and forth, bounce it around. Here they're trying to juxtapose. I don't know, but similar. Oh, and they're bros. Yeah, probably gonna buy them a drink. We got a top line here. That's good. Top line. Again, these are kind of side by side. The letter is making that choice. I would prefer you stair step. But also, you probably put it down here. You could get, you could do a top line. And you could do a bottom line with that. But you could do it with that too. It's like an abundance of hair to cover up, So I guess you might as well, especially if the artist goes in and is doing a lot of work down here. You see little veins or tendons and musculature and what little details. You have an opportunity down here to do all that stuff to at least make that part of the panel interesting. Everything below the chin, make it look interesting. This has at least the hair kind of swooping down, but here it looks, like it kind of lost interest. And then you pull out this guy. I don't know what this guy is. Look at him though. He's like a troll, gnome. Oh, Troll. Remember, Troll had the blue skin. Tyrax, the Terrible, conqueror of Arcadia. He arrived in the hidden lands, a stranger from another world. He was worshipped as a god by the primitive inhabitants. His advanced technology transformed their world. Over time, in many battles, he forged the peace with Canaan and his insurgents. Under their unified pact, the land flourished. Oh, okay. Well, sounds like a good guy. Greetings, King. Is that how you refer to the king? Greetings, King. You'd say Your Highness or Majesty, right? Like King's not. It seems very informal for being formal. Just saying, things to think about when you're writing, I guess. The others have returned from their journey. We are ready to proceed with communion. Oh, yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Proportion. I don't know. He's kind of, I don't know. Maybe this guy stands up and he looks like old school prophet or something. Or, he's kind of a Lobo, right? A little Lobo there. Rob worked on Lobo for DC, but it was that slicked up Lobo. It wasn't like biker Lobo. The throne has like like for this guy brought his people through with his technology. Yeah, and that's what they're talking about there. Is there anything that really kind of shows the benefits of that technology? How smart are they? Is that a tent here? Canaan and Arcadia first appeared in Youngblood Yearbook 1. Interesting. Okay. Editor's note. I like those. This guy has no nipples. FYI. Oh, he's fucking tall. Look at him. That's is that, what's her name? Masuda? Is that it? Masuda? No names. Gotta get these names in here. They're saying like in Netflix, like they want you to repeat, kind of the story details multiple times. That's like the same thing in comics. Like you gotta keep repeating the names. Masada? Is it Masada? What issue is this? It is number 4 of Youngblood. Ooh, look at that. This guy looks pretty sick. Great rendering on the face there. Got the black around the eyes. Kind of a different Rob haircut there. The mustache is going very high above the lip. I guess it is there too. It could just be how the characters are, I guess. Loki. Oh, this is Loki. But whenever I do something like that, I try to keep it close to the lip. And 1/8 of an inch above the lip, to be precise. That's a proper military mustache. 1/8 above the lip. Let's see. And then what do we got? Lord Chapel here. It's not the most impressive. His nipples are kind of high. It should probably be right in here ish. It's like almost mid pec. but fun to see. I hope Rob is able to wrap up his story. I don't know how long this is running, but he's doing a pretty good job. And I think guys, if you're an artist, you should probably be following Rob. He's offering, I guess, like, I don't know if it's a contest or what, but if you do a young blood pinup or something, and go find out from him. Don't take it from me. I think he's looking for people to do covers. So maybe you'll get a cover job. Oh, remember Eric Nielotowski was getting on board with something like that. Was that the same deal or a different deal? No. I don't think it worked out for Eric Nielotowski. Stay cool, stay calm, stay professional with Rob. That's my best advice for you guys. Stay cool, stay calm, stay professional. He's the boss. He's got things he wants it his way. That's fine. Don't push it. Whatever you're doing, you push it, you'll blow it. I love that. And even here, look at this page. Huge amount of real estate for this shot here. Love it. And then we get a vertical panel with this big juicy close up there. Looks great. And then we jump back to everything pulled out. Yeah, the thing with Eric, and look, I understand Eric Nielotowski's point of view on that. He was frustrated. He I think he won a contest where he was supposed to get a cover, and then it was almost like he had to kind of, I don't know, say, hey, Rob, remember that contest? Can I get that cover? And, so I understand that. But after the blowout with Rob, then he got it colored. But it's like, you already had the blowout though, man. Like if you're trying to get like anyone's attention, really, if you're at a disadvantage, I guess, for, that the person is holding all the cards. I found when I worked with Rob, like the best way for me to get his attention, instead of being like, hey, well, you said this or that or whatever, or, maybe I'm not, in my case, it would be like, what did Rob think? I don't know, maybe about like a nitrogen page or something like that, trivial, more or less. And if I was getting a lack of response, what I would do is I would just show something really fucking cool online. I would draw the shit out of something and it'd be so fucking cool. I felt like it would get Rob excited, and then boom, I'm getting an email or a phone call. So I think how Eric handled it, which was, I understand his point again. Like, hey, if you want that thing to happen, instead of throwing out vinegar on that, like bitterness, show him how fucking cool it's going to be in color. And it did look fucking cool in color. And I bet if they didn't have that blowout, that would have reinvigorated Rob. That's how I think it would have played out if he hadn't lost his cool. So anyways, look how short that black guy is. This is Team Alpha. We've made contact. I never meant to keep it, sir. I only knew someday, somehow, I had to give it back to you. Yeah, I mean, whatever, dude. You stole that shield. Don't lie. He did. He literally stole the shield. The black man literally stole the shield because he saw that I think the Nazis were keeping it as a prize or something. He was in special forces, but he worked as a cook. He was kind of like Steven Seagal. And then he found an opportunity to steal that shield, and he did. Now he's bringing it back to, I don't know, Steve Rogers, what are 40, 50 years later? And this was, that was interesting too, was the creative credits on this. I think it was on this. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. Rob Liefeld. Story. Pencils. Edits. He was his own editor on here. He brought, he's rocking Rob Liefeld too. He brought in Jazzin Jeff Loeb as writer. But look here. Squeezed in the middle here. Plot assist by Chuck Dixon. So Chuck Dixon did the plot. Rob did the story, or I guess came up with the story. Chuck fills it in with the plot. Jeff comes in and writes the dialogue. Is that what's going on? That's 3 writing credits here. Jonathan Sabal is the inker. Dude, that's Haberlin. Brian Haberlin colors. That makes some sense there when you see this stuff, man. Haberlin. Haberlin ended up doing a lot of Spawn coloring. Look, in this nice little glow here. Little shine. Brian Haberlin. Tremendous colorist. Tremendous. Is he at peak here? I don't know. I don't know if he's at peak here. But yeah, you can just kind of see it now. But yeah, what he did for this scene here with all the little hints of these warm lights. Priceless. Priceless to find a colorist that will take the time to make some decisions like that. Right here. Beautiful. Warm and cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like these though. I don't like the streaks coming through. Kind of talked about that a bit. I'm not sure I like this sound effect. It's big. It's covering up a lot of the art. It's covering up the foreground thing here too. Maybe it's okay. I don't know. I feel like I'd play around with it though. I want the art more than I want the sound effect, I guess, you know? So if we're going to, and I hate it when people knock, like, oh, I'm going to make the stuff transparent. No. Stop yourself before you wreck yourself. Oh, and yeah, I guess these letterings are okay. It's kind of the same. You know, you got enough room there. I'm not sure you can top line here without covering up a bunch of that. So maybe there, I guess. And then, yeah, it just bleeds out. It's okay. This one could be bottom lined here. There's room. But yeah, that, no. You know, oval. This one could be top lined. Even though there's no border, you could have done the fake top line. You know, knock out the top so your white of the frame or of the gutter goes into the balloon. You could have these free floating. That could be a top line. Ooh, this looks good. It is covering up a lot of the art, but that gradient makes it a lot more kind of fun to look at. And the background isn't just a black, it's a red. So this is actually interesting what they did here. Even though they are covering up all that shit, but it's interesting what they're doing. This is cool. I like the rocks all over the place. Very kind of graphic, iconic. You know, you can put that up you could blow it up 10 feet tall and have it on, a giant poster on your wall. A couple inset panels. Again, nice little lighting here, little hints of light, McFarlane-ish, or who is it? Olaf-ish, Steve Olaf. These shields are okay. They're interesting how they kind of I guess Rob drew one and Haberlin copy pasted it and faded it out. Oh, and up and down here too. I'm not sure these work. Rather have that negative space, I guess. This is okay. But if Rob only ever planned on having that one, it's like, yeah, is it meant to be like a border or just kind of like a little page thing? I don't know. Look at that. Woo! Look how tiny that shield is, though. Looks mighty phallic. What? What's phallic? Did I miss something? What? Oh, this maybe? The arm coming out, thrusting out. Is that what you're saying, you're fat? The arm thrusting through the soil into the freedom of the womb. That's the head of the penis. This is the body, the neck. Neck? I don't know. What do you call it? A neck? I guess. Shaft? The shaft of the penis? More buildings. Eat your heart out, Shane Davis. All these buildings. Nice frame there. Or crop. The crop is good. Like this. Always love Rob's little, like, Rob's crazy. Like, it's crazy because when Rob is drawing something, he can do a thumbnail that big and you can still tell from the figures, even though there isn't shit to them, but that it's a Rob Liefeld because of the exaggerations. I always thought that was really cool. But anyways, yeah. Whenever Rob does these down shots, a lot of fun. You know, guys, it may not be perfectly planted. You know what I mean? Like, that's great. Good toss. Look at these legs. It's an odd choice, I guess. But it works. It works. Get some toss motion here. You know, classic old school. This face is a little wild. Looks like the hair kind of got, you know, I think this all should have been hair. I think they put blue back here, but it makes it look like his skull just kind of disappears. That's Haberlin. How dare you, Haberlin? What are you doing? Setting your boy up? Oh, this looks nice. Just full. Everything, you know, filled the spaces up good. That. You got to run. Nice. It's a new, that is like a Naruto run. Well, now this is actually probably a little in the forward position, but Rob has drawn the Naruto run for his entire career. You know, it's like it's like he's barely touching, almost flying, and the arms are out like wings, and a lot of fun. Oh, black guy didn't make it. Should have known. Should have known brother was not going to make it to the end. Don't worry. Cap will avenge you. He will avenge all the brothers. Not the best. The best face there. Get some, white Nick Fury before they made him black. And what's his name? Hogan? Is that his name? Dum Dum Hogan or something like that? His pal? Is that what it is? Dum Dum? I need Dum Dum Hogan to help me out. That's nice. Get that run again. Almost the same pose. This is nice behind it. This could be a cover. Then you get the logo. Maybe the logo up here, yeah. Oh, you know what? Take the secrets part, probably drop the logo down there, maybe. Whatever. It's not a cover. I'm just saying it could be. It's close. It's pretty close to fitting all that text up there. All right. We did it, guys. Woo! We fucking did it. That's what I got. That's what I got from the comic shop. You can find me at the comic shop. Michael Patika. Oh, I did this one already. Tom Tuttle. Yep, did that. 200 watt studio. Nice morning. Nice and crisp outside. Yeah, it is. And 200 watt studio again for 2. We got hammered by that heavy rain. Hell yeah. A lot of water. Dum Dum Dugan. Oh, Dugan? Not Hogan. Dum Dum Dugan. Okay. All right. Thank you, Oakley. And John Smith. Appreciate you guys. Yeah. Hit that like, grab an oar, guys. We're going to wrap up Black Riding Hood campaign this Wednesday on Hard Art. If you haven't backed it yet, please do. A lot of, or let me just pull it up here for a second. If you haven't backed it yet, please do. If you have, back again and share. Share it out, guys. Here we go. Look at that. $7,284. 3 days to go. If you want, get the box. That's going to give you Black Riding Hood issue 1. It's going to give you issue 2 and the variants. It's going to include the 24-hour variants and the Shanthan Jetty 24-hour cover. Here's issue 1. Issue 2, this is my cover. Issue 2, Davis cover. Issue 2, Ethan cover. Here's our 24-hour covers. I'm waiting for Shant to do an edit on his cover so I can get it up there in our final days here. So might not be up. But it's only available. Shant's cover is only available in the box. So get the box tier. If you're going to get the box tier, consider a small upgrade to the signature tier. We'll go in there and sign all those books there. Looks like more people bought the signature tier than the non-signed. So consider that. But if that's too pricey, come out here, get issue 1, issue 2. That's all the reading material you need. And if you want to just grab an issue 1 or an issue 2, you can come down here. You get different options. There's little groupings you can get. It's all up to you guys. So thank you all very much for supporting this project. We're at, I don't know what we are at total. I think we did 100 and something on Indiegogo in 30 days too. I think it was 30 days, right? Yeah. So I don't know. But anywho, excuse me. Thank you guys for hanging out here and talking comics with me. Hopefully I didn't bore you too much. Yeah, get that box. Guys, get that box. Otherwise, what's today? Monday. Got Kings probably around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock tonight. Kings may not happen. I'm not feeling the best, and we'll see. I'm just going to play this day as it rolls out. Wednesday, Hard Art, close out on Shane's channel. And Friday, Ballers. Go check that out. I don't know if we're doing Comicsgate Live again. I don't know. No clue. No clue how this is going to work out. But anywho, thanks. Thanks for being here, guys. Thanks for checking out all this great comic book art. Maybe you learned something about the craft. And nobody's perfect, guys. You guys can go through my stuff. You'll find things that aren't lining up the way that I would, prefer them, today versus tomorrow. Especially if you went back to like Graveyard Shift, issue 1. I've been learning everything, in terms of lettering and whatnot, over these years, and enjoy it. I enjoy it. Love it. I was telling somebody like, yeah, man, give me a year or two. I think I'm just gonna take a year and do some lettering. Not just for me, but for other people, just so I can do like some really good lettering. I don't know. It's like a compulsion, I guess, to go out there and give it a go. Get in there, just every letter in the right spot. A little OCD, I guess. But whatever. I don't fucking know. Guys, whatever. I'll talk to you guys later. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Remember to go back Black Riding Hood. If you've already backed it, share it out on social media, on your Twitter, on your Facebook. Maybe say something nice about it. Hey guys, I bought the first one. I really enjoyed it. Would appreciate that. And I'll catch all y'all later. Have a great day. Bye, guys.
Put your hands up in the air.